everybody out there that's still kicking it. That was kind of morbid, but okay. Hey, everybody, this is the Enter Tournament of Champions podcast. We are back because the world's gone to shit. So, naturally, it was a good time for us to reinsert our presence.
Let's take our podcast seriously all of a sudden now that the world's ending. So
yeah. Now we have formats now and like sponsors. No, we don't. We don't have anything.
Nope. Yeah, we're sponsored you by wasting your time on a Saturday.
Yeah. This episode of Entertainment Champions Podcast is brought to you by Being Inside. Keep your ass inside. Wash your fucking hands.
Hey, Jeff, I've been using Being Inside for about 2 weeks now, and it's, I give it a 10 out of 10. Being Inside's kind of cool if you, know how to entertain yourself.
I've been a subscriber to this service for years. Like years.
Have you?
And now, everybody's kind of being forced to subscribe to it.
You're not new to the game. Oh, wow. That's very impressive.
Yeah, for years. So,
what a trendsetter.
Yeah. Everybody's now on board with it suddenly. I don't know why, the uptick.
I don't either. I don't watch many news at all, so.
Yeah. What's news? I don't even know what that is. I watch olds. That's stupid.
What about currents?
Currents?
You guys in on currents? That's good stuff.
I'm on pasts. I watch old news. Is there like a ESPN Classics for news?
There should be.
I'm on 2002 right now. So
I do the Crichton collection of the news personally. So
the Criterion collection.
Criterion, I just say Crichton.
The guy who wrote Jurassic Park.
God damn it!
And the news brought to you by a Dilophosaurus.
Shark. Let's do it.
Fuck. So this episode, to brighten everybody's day, hopefully a little bit, we are talking about we're going to divulge our top 10 feel-good television shows. I've seen a lot of people do movies. We may do that eventually, next maybe. It's not like we don't have time, right? Right, guys? But I don't know why I got so dramatic with that. Right, guys? All right. Well, it's really sad now. But yeah, we're doing feel-good TV shows first, top 10, and we're not doing we don't want them to fight each other. And also, how do you debate this? Like, no, this makes me happy. No, this makes me happy. Fuck you, or whatever. Like, how do you can't? It's impossible to gauge
unless y'all choose something like True Detective season 1 or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna call you out. Yeah, I'm like, oh, what? So child rape and occult stuff. Like
my number 5 is Unbelievable, the Netflix show Unbelievable with Toni Collette.
No way.
It's like how they accurately describe all the rapes I've thought about doing in my entire life.
Wow.
Like just
out of the gate. Here we are. This is a feel good podcast, not a feel weird.
Already turning off the show. Okay, and we're kidding. And I checked with our sponsor, and we have to go outside now. Okay.
Yeah, they're kicking us out from indoors.
Yeah, no, we got to go lick some door handles.
Oh, man.
So a Saturday for me. Okay.
Correct. But did you really do it if you didn't film it on TikTok or whatever the fuck it's called?
No, absolutely not. Click, cluck.
Click, cuck. Tick, cuck.
The new one, it's a new Canadian app called Pitter Patter.
Oh, good. That one I'd subscribe
Pitter Patter.
I definitely joined that service. I didn't even introduce us, but we've been doing this for almost 100 episodes now. This is like 99, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, I know.
Feel good for a 100 would be a good,
Yeah,
it's a good list. If it ends up being that way. Yeah.
Format's kind of gone out the window a little bit because things changed in the world rapidly, super quick. We're definitely not going to do...
Like, hey, a month ago, we were having much different conversations about day-to-day life.
We were like, I think I woke up depressed. That was me. Literally, that was me.
Yeah, same here. All year this year, I'm like, I got the blues. And then since everything's gone to shit, I'm like, I'm kind of killing it right now. It's really weird.
I don't really care now.
There's that meme where it's like, you tell your therapist, like, oh, I don't know why I'm not anxious or whatever. And the therapist is like, that's because you grew up in chaos, so chaos is like, what you know. And I'm like, oh, I just got therapized via a meme. That's cool. That's good.
Appreciate that meme. Hey, meme. Thanks.
Hey, meme. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
You saved me $200, so.
Right. Fuck. It's true, though. I'm Jeff, joined by JD and Kyle, as we always do. I don't know why I felt like doing that 20 minutes in or whatever the fuck however late we're in right now. But to start us off, this is the order I had written down before we even entertained the idea of doing this. But JD, you're first.
No, fuck you.
Always,
Not doing it.
no, he's always. I don't buy
Can
this.
I just start
swear
on
to
number
God.
4? Like,
I just say it should just be a show rule that he always goes first, since that's what he does anyways.
and it's always video games, and it's always a subject matter
A list
that I
you're
just
not.
don't like my
fond
list.
of,
Yeah. Yeah. Do not
I
feel
don't
good
know.
about
I feel
It's
real
feel
good
good
about. It's a
list.
feel good list, guys. You should
Yeah.
feel good about it.
Yeah, I feel good about my list because I'm obligated to.
I mean, I like the shows I put on it. It's just when I was researching all these feel good lists that have popped up, I realized I haven't watched any of the newer things. So I guess
I
apparently
felt Schitt's Creek a lot, so I don't know if anyone's representing that today, but like everyone
not
just
in my
like
10, no, but it's somewhere.
everyone, people were really that was on every
Yeah.
single list I saw was that show,
Like,
and
I
I've seen
get
like
it,
the
but you know,
I've
it's
seen
an
like the
honorable
first
mention for me.
6 to 8 episodes of that show, and I like it fine. Like it's I don't know, I haven't gone back to it, so
Yeah, it's good.
I gotta check it out.
I really like the
So I don't
characters
know.
more than I like the humor. That's for sure.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Like they have their own identity and their own.
No,
quirks
I
that
totally buy
make me
that.
wanna
Yeah,
keep
because
revisiting
even
it.
though I've only seen 6 episodes, I know who every single one of their characters are and what they stand for, and they define them really quickly.
And they do have some funny lines. There was one. Oh my god, there was one line that I never laughed harder at. From like Thursday's episode. They're almost done with the whole show. The season finale, the series finale airs next week. And oh my god, I can't remember the line now, but it was like one of the best lines I'd ever fucking heard.
It's
It
so
was
wild.
great.
This show, I just started hearing about this show, and it's just now wrapping up. Like,
Yeah,
it's just,
I know, right?
It's like this show, no one knew about it until like the last 2
No
or
one
3
was
seasons,
fucking talking
and-
about it until like last year. It feels like,
Yeah,
and that's when I caught up on
exactly,
it. It was. I remember what it was. It was like the family of 4. They ordered a pizza, a single pizza, and the son, who is like very flamboyant, he was like, "Oh man, what did he say?" He was kind of like basically saying, "What are we on a diet or something?" He made a joke that was like a reference, to pop culture reference, but it like slayed me, and I can't. I'm deflating the joke completely now. So yay, honorable mention, Schitt's Creek.
I mean, I'm laughing. So.
Ha 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 ha. So JD, what's your number 10? It's totally fine if it's shit, but that's okay.
No, I mean
it
it's not
Tiger
shit.
King?
It's just I can't. Yeah, hey, let me tell you,
know
something
what?
about
Y'all put
Carol
Tiger King on
Baskin.
here. I haven't seen it yet, but I would understand. You know what I mean?
Right,
Dude,
You make
I
you
feel
feel
like I've
good about
already-
yourself.
Yeah, you probably feel good about yourself afterwards. Yeah.
I've already completely fallen in love with his entire existence. Is fascinating. God, that guy's great.
I was gonna watch it this weekend, but someone
Um,
told me I had to start Expanse. So
Oh Jesus, I'm sorry. I mean, but also
Yeah, I
it was
know.
good. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
watched it. Man, I've been hearing about it a lot, but I have that no
Same.
sci-fi rule. You know.
Yeah, same here. That's the thing. Like,
Right?
it's the only
Yeah.
sci-fi show I hear that is so fucking good I have to watch it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
still got that sci-fi.
Yeah, but it's on
sci-fi.
sci-fi. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
know Amazon picked it up or whatever, and now I realize I'm hijacking JD's moment. I'm sorry. Go ahead, JD.
Yeah.
No, it's
JD,
fine.
please,
It's-
floor us.
It is
Floor us
not
with
a
your number
moment
10.
worth not hijacking. I reached into my childhood for this one.
Oh,
I'm
good.
sure you guys like the
Okay.
show. I put Fresh Prince on there, dude. That was a feel-good show.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm really into that choice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's
I
yeah. I mean,
forgot any 90s shows from my list.
Yeah, I really should have dipped back into
Like
the.
Boy Meets World would be fucking great for this, and I
oh
forgot it.
God, I cannot believe I didn't even think of that show. I love that.
Yeah.
I just tried to think of stuff that like I used to watch with my sister because with a 6-year age gap, there weren't a lot of times where our tastes overlapped.
No.
And
I
so
get
I don't
that.
know. This was one that like I had on DVD, and it was just kind of one that when we were bored over the weekend or whatever, we would just throw that on. Or
What's
hell,
your
I
age
mean,
gap again?
6 years and 3 months. I'm
Wow,
6.
So that's like the same as me and my brother. So yeah, it's the same
Yeah,
thing for
but
us.
you're-
Where we're
but
like,
you're-
My
boys, so at
sister
least,
is
like,
8 years
you have
older
that.
than me, so that's right in the wheelhouse. I'm just the younger
Yeah.
one.
So it would be
Yeah.
very difficult to find something that we would both like. Like he liked X-Men shit at the time that I like Power Ranger shit. And
Right.
it was just very hard to connect on any level with shows. So I can respect this journey that you guys went on
Yeah.
with the show.
At least you're both guys, so like you could find some stuff. Like it's even
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah, eventually we did. I'm sure. I can't
It's even
remember
more
any shows,
difficult
but-
with the gender gap because she's like into Britney Spears, and I'm like, hey, can I borrow that poster? And she's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, but seriously,
See, my sister was kind
can I
of cool,
just take it
so
to the bathroom real
she
quick?
was listening to like good music and stuff like that. So like I had.
No, that was.
I
not my
had
sister.
I at least had a older sister who was at least good at guiding, but the age gap
Older?
was way too
Yeah.
far to like for our interests to ever be aligned outside of like just music and maybe like menial comedy movies and TV shows.
Right.
Right. Yeah, man.
Fresh Prince is a great choice.
I just watched I watched
choice.
a Watch Mojo video, there were like the top 10 running gags in Fresh Prince, and man, I just forgot how genuinely fucking funny that show was until just recently, just going back and thinking about episodes. And it, you know, like all the other good sitcoms, it's got the serious feels in there too a lot. So, you know, obviously that's not what I was focusing on for the list, because there's a lot of heavy shit in that show.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, in a lot of these really silly shows, there's always some like heavy moments just kind of come out of nowhere. They're effective,
right.
But it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, they are, because they just totally take you off guard.
yeah, yeah.
For sure. But yeah, man, it's a good show. Like, fucking Carlton dance still gets me every time.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm not a dancer at all.
Dork I've ever seen on TV.
He's like dork embodiment, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean that in all due respect. So, yeah. From one dork to another.
That's a hell of a choice. Really,
thanks.
really made me dig deep into all the 90s shows in my memory that I watched that I totally forgot to put on this
I changed
list.
my number 10 because of what you just did. So thank you.
Oh, that's great.
Nice,
Hey,
nice.
so what is your number 10, Kyle?
My number 10, Jeff, I just took off one to put on another. I put on Invader Zim, the TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned this
man.
one before.
Yeah. Maybe for like an honorable mention for something before, yeah.
It was like a shows you want to reboot or something like that.
That probably was it, yeah. And I think, because I think I
It
made
was,
the point. We are getting it, and we did. We got a movie, which was awesome. It came out last year. It was great. This show's hilarious, and it makes me feel like a kid. It's something I still put on whenever I like go to sleep or whatever, because it doesn't, it holds my attention in a way where I'm like, it just feels good. It reminds me of like, being in, school and having parents take care of me and stuff like that. But it's also got a lot of wild adult humor, very dark, very weird. But like fun dark, not like silly dark. This is exactly the kind of show that you would need, like in times that we're living right now. And it's just silly, and it might remind you of like a better time and an easier time. And it's got nostalgia all over it. And I think it holds up really well in terms of like comedy and just aging like with you, because like you kind of pick up some of the more layered jokes that are going on. This guy was getting away with a lot with this show, and it wasn't until like 3 seasons in that Nickelodeon's like, hey, this is a little adult. Like, can you tone it down? He's like, nope. And just quit. Like he didn't want to do the show anymore after they tried to like reel him in. So yeah, it's a show with a man with principles that stuck to his guns and created the thing he wanted to create. And it's just fun. It's a really fun cartoon. And I had to get one like childhood cartoon on there because 80s Fresh Prince that's inspiring. It's a good choice.
Dope.
Well,
Thank you.
It's a story all about how an invader went zimzer zop. All right. I don't know the story. I really don't.
By the way, in a what is it, Dave? Where they were?
Oh yeah.
Did they do that joke just this week? Was that Dave that did that? There was some show that like they're asking where he was, and he starts like saying the name, like he starts saying like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song, like he's just like I don't know. Yeah, it was Dave. Yeah, so I went up to LA
with his friends. Yeah. God, I love that show. That comedy came out of nowhere. Like for me, like I was just gonna watch it on a whim, and then now it's like one of the funniest shows.
Yeah,
it's definitely the funniest show I'm watching right now. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Love that fucking show. Go watch Dave FX on Hulu. Everybody, it's fucking great. And Daves and Devs.
It comes out same night, and they're the exact same. They're very similar in every way.
every way, almost shot for shot, like a remake.
Yeah, it's like you're watching the same show twice.
Yeah. God, can you imagine the sex doll thing in Devs? Anyway.
I can, weirdly. So.
It would totally be a Nick Offerman's character with the sex doll, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
totally.
With his
it would show
hair,
you multiple dimensions of him, the way he fucks it, basically.
Yeah, that last episode of Devs really took me. I was just like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to watch that again, or I don't know what the hell. It really things went over my head in a big way. So in a good way, but a big way.
Yeah. That was very forward.
It's a lot of stuff being thrown around, a lot of theoretical, ideas, and a lot of crazy stuff getting thrown around. Good show. Maybe not feel good, but good show for sure.
My number 10 is a show that you could argue is just for me, I guess, but it's a very breezy show. It's on Disney Plus. Came out last year. It's called Encore with an exclamation mark. And this show is about like these musical theater. Well, they were kids, but they reunite 20 years after high school to put on their old High School Musical again. And I mean, these are like real people. Like, it's not like it's like a reality show more or less. And every episode follows a different school, a different alumni.
Cool.
There's so many shenanigans in it, dude. Like, I mean, they're almost all of them are so friggin' terrible by now because they don't do musical theater anymore. A lot of them are just adults with desk jobs like we are. So they're going on stage and they're singing horribly and they hire like legit New York Broadway directors, like music directors and choreographers to help them, and it's still a shit show, but that's why it's so fun to watch. But on top of that, you have these like 30 or 40-year-olds. Some of them are even older than that. Like being forced to reflect on who they were in high school, and it brings a lot of that out of me when I watch it too. I'm like, damn, what would I don't know. It just makes me think back on like high school and myself.
I feel like the nostalgia, even though nostalgia comes with a lot of different feelings, but like that long for, not that we all long to go back to high school or even before that, but like that feeling of like, the relatability and like, reminds you of simpler times. Yeah, man. That totally. Yeah,
because every time they do like an exercise in the show where they're like, what would you tell your high school self? Every single time, like half the people there are like crying, going, you know, it's okay to not hit your dreams or whatever, because you dream big when you're in high school, dude, and then that shit just falls
like your
apart.
imagination is wild as a kid, right. And then the world crushes you, not into a diamond, but into coal, you know?
Yeah, so you exist, but it's like a shitty version of you, yeah. So, I mean, I feel that hard when they're kind of forced to kind of do that stuff, and some of them are kind of, at least one person in one episode was like, I'm not here to do that, I'm just here to sing. Like, she was talking to the camera after the fact. She's like, I'm not here to do this reflective crap. I'm just here to dance and sing. And like, I'm like, wow. So there's a ton of characters in it. Kristen Bell hosts this one. She barely appears in it, but she hosts it. It's just fun shenanigans. It's a breezy show, like I said when I introduced it. So it's just you're in and out, and it feels good to watch it. Almost like that's the title of the list. So that's my number 10. JD, what's your number 9? Guarantee it's better than a musical theater thing.
Well, like your previous pick, this was one that I would consider for me for sure because it's not fiction. So it's I don't know. I guess when I'm like unwinding from work, and this would fall into the category of shit that I just kind of like to put on because it's just fun to watch these particular people. It's a food show, and it's called "Fuck That's Delicious" on Viceland.
That's an amazing title.
It's so Bronson? Good. It's with Action Bronson and
that's
his like crew of rappers. And the best thing about it is that they are funny as fuck collectively. They are legitimately some of the funniest fucking people I've ever heard in my life.
I'll watch Ancient Aliens with those guys all the time, dude. They're so fucking hilarious to me. Like naturally funny. There's no script. Absolutely. They're just sitting there riffing.
They're just riffing. He smokes more weed. I would say he probably is in the stratosphere of like Snoop Dogg as far as the amount of weed that he consumes on a daily basis. And he's a bigger guy, so he has to smoke a lot to get fucked up. I'll never watch regular Ancient Aliens. You couldn't pay me to watch it, but I'll watch them watching it, reacting to it. It's hysterical.
It's great. Yeah.
Sometimes
they take it real seriously, and other times they're just laughing at what they're saying. You know?
Yeah. It's just because they'll watch like 4 episodes in the same session. So by like the 4th one, they can't even fuck it. It's great. Yeah. But yeah, with this one, man, like I've learned a lot about, legitimately learned a lot about, other cultures' food and stuff through them. Like they go places and they don't like bullshit and just go to everyday places. Like they try and seek out places that represent the culture of the food. And it shows like him. I'm not a big rap person, but it shows him doing shows and recording a lot. And so I don't know. It's just kind of one of those weird blends of a show that just kind of has all the right ingredients for me. And it's endlessly rewatchable. Like anytime there's a marathon on Viceland, since I still have like channels through Sling.
What's that like?
It's weird. Like there's like a guide with like things that you can choose.
I don't even know what that means, JD.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, dude. It's wild.
I miss Vice and like all their channels and everything. I miss all that shit. I wish they would show that. Man. Yeah, I think I could programs. I think.
They've got so many that I think it's let's just throw 20 shows at the wall and see which one sticks.
Sure, so I appreciate that because you get some really fringe, weird ass shit down there.
Yeah, they literally have something for everybody. Like it doesn't matter where you come from. there's probably a show that's of interest to you if you're
that whole show,
open-minded
the
person.
one where they talk about all the drugs, like every episode's a drug or whatever. That show's very fascinating to me.
Pharmacopoeia.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hamilton's Pharmacopoia. Yeah, that's good. Weed a Kid is a good weed docuseries. I mean, it's a little. It can get a little preachy sometimes because it's on the advocacy side for some of the bullshit in states that don't have medical legalization at all. And need it.
Yeah, well, there's some people there. That show sometimes will be like, and it'll cure your cancer, and it's like,
but
no.
Can we maybe not say that now? So I mean, check it out if you want. If not, I mean, fuck it. But it's funny, and they're funny. Like he's a good personality. Action Bronson is. So yeah, I couldn't recommend.
Y'all are coming with like more interesting picks.
I had to. I had to reach deeper into the bag.
Deep, yeah. Kyle, what's your number 9?
I have mentioned the show on this show before. It's Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg's and Nick Frost's Space in English.
Yeah. That was another reboot revival one, I think.
This was?
Yeah, that was. It was. It lost early on, like Evader Zim did, but yeah, it was.
Oh wow!
Yeah, wow.
I think I did say that. I think you're right. Yeah, I think I did bring it for that. I did. I brought it for something for sure. Because we were. I think Baby Driver was coming out that year or something, and I was like, "Bring it back, baby!" Hey, if you guys wanted to figure out like where these guys came from, like this was one of their very first projects they did together, and it's hysterical. Every episode's like kind of themed after something. There's a whole episode where they're actually playing Resident Evil 1, and like for the entire episode, like you hear all the sound effects from the game like in the episode, and it's just fucking silly. And there's just tons and tons of silly stuff. And there's not anything serious about this show. Like all the tenants of this like little flat that all these people live in are like insanely memorable and really unique and very weird. And it's just creates a lot of like situational humor and just really good writing and some of that like really snappy editing that Edgar Wright likes to do. Highly suggest this show. I think both of y'all have seen it by now, but
I actually have not seen that one.
JD, come on, man.
I've totally failed you since you bring
JD,
it up.
Jeff, come on, man. This is why
I saw the first.
I
want to say I saw the first season, but I'm pretty sure I fucking didn't. I mean, by this point. By this point, like if it's like I can't remember, I can only barely remember the vague scenes from it. Then I didn't see it. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, I play that. Yeah, highly suggest it, guys. If y'all are running, and it's a short watch, 20-minute episodes. I think there's 3 seasons, maybe there's 2 seasons. Every season's like 6, maybe 7, 6 to 8 episodes. It's not long. Good fun, very fun.
I will obtain that totally legally and watch it totally
legally, but there was no
obviously.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't think you needed to say content. It, but I like that you said it.
Yeah. Hold on, let me turn off my VPN really quick. Hold on, one second. Okay.
I don't know what VPN is. It sounds dark.
I do. It's
very.
Oh, go ahead.
Very, very, very. I don't know. You got to be in the know, man. You just got to be in the know.
Okay.
You'll know when you know.
I would explain it to everyone, but it's not what you think it is.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, subverts all of your expectations.
Yeah, it's Ryan Johnson.
Basically, Ryan Johnson of Internet.
The Ryan Johnson production. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep.
My number 9, and it's so low because the later seasons were kind of dragging a little bit for me. But New Girl's my number 9.
Oh, that's a good pick. Yeah. I like those first few seasons quite a bit.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, even when like Zoe went out on maternity leave, I think, and Megan Fox came in, I was like, guys, did you know Megan Fox was funny? Like,
yeah, no, those episodes were pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that caught me by surprise because she's the polar opposite of Jess. Like, she's like totally like not in the mood for anybody's shit, really. And, and it plays really well with everybody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like it's the type of comedy that would strike like it would be universal, really. Yeah, it's just some of the jokes are just so friggin' well thought out, and everybody's interplay and stuff is just so clever and witty and snappy sometimes, and you can tell that they're just like shooting the shit when the cameras are rolling sometimes, like they're just making stuff up. Yeah, it's just really, really, really enjoyable. The first half or so, because I know they went on like a couple of years too long, maybe 3 or 4, but like the first several seasons were like so top notch that I think it's worth recommending. For this list, at least, maybe not over. Like if it were like in a there's only so many shows you can think of when you come to feel good shows. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe if it were like best comedies of all time, it wouldn't even be in honorable mentions. But we're talking about feeling good and
We're talking about feel good.
yeah, and try not to think of dark shit. And New Girl will totally remove all that stuff. So that's my number 9. So JD, what's your number 8?
I stuck The Office at number 8.
Oh, that's an honorable mention.
Probably. Yeah.
Actually, no,
same-
just
same
kidding.
for me.
It's not. I didn't even include
Yeah.
it because I at least encountered one person that doesn't like it because he gets stressed out by these characters being such dickbags to each other sometimes that it's like, okay, well, I get that. Like,
Yeah,
sure.
I get
it's a
it.
comfort food show for me. Like, I've watched it.
Yeah,
multiple
same here.
times,
It's definitely
but-
comfortable for me, but
Yeah.
I get after being explained that way, I guess I get it because that's why I don't like some of those like really weird English shows, or it's just about like I don't know. I'm trying to think of one that comes off the top of my head. Like the In-Betweeners, like it's just sometimes it's just a little too stressful because everyone's so dumb.
Yeah.
And I get stressed out by how like
For lack of a better word, dumb.
yeah, dumb. I was like, it's pretty dumb. Anyways,
dude,
yeah.
yeah.
So I get it. Yeah, no, I get that explanation because I've encountered shows where I'm just like, I get it. Like this show's like really funny and it makes me feel awkward, but like I feel too awkward watching it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It might trigger too many awkward memories for some people, depending on their workforce experience. At least a couple of my friends' experience watching the show for the first time the past year or so. And
Anyways,
I never saw it that way. Like when I jumped into season 3, and then I backtracked, of course, watched season 1 and 2. It just didn't. I always loved it, so I didn't really look at it through that one.
yeah.
Before.
So then that segues me back onto JD's like point. Fuck those people. They're weird. We all think it's comfort food. So why don't you tell us why
It is comfort food.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
It's when we were watching the show. I think I was. When did it air? Was I still in high school when this was on? So
it's new food for me. So
I think no, it's mid 2000s. So yeah, I was watching this in college, dude. I'd never worked in a fucking office.
Yeah,
I didn't have any experiences to sour the comedy aspect of it. I think that's probably why I thought of it, just because it's one of those shows that I think about so fondly. Despite if you want to dive into the characters and their actions and get moral about it, yeah, a lot of them are pretty fucking bad. Things they do to each other are just ridiculously dumb, but that's the point. That's what.
And they're so dumb to me, it's cartoonish.
Yeah,
so it's like it's
And
it's not realistic despite how it's filmed. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really fond of the development of Jim and Pam early on. I didn't really care for where it went in the end. I can't remember why. It's been so long since I've watched it.
Well, the last season is it's such a it's a little
I've
bit of
never
a
seen-
misfire because the last
never seen the
season
final.
last season intros this cameraman who suddenly starts giving a shit about Pam, and
God.
it's almost like they're driving like this forced wedge between Jim and Pam in the final season, and you're like, why are they doing this? Like, what? It just didn't fit their relationship through the show. Like, everything they were doing was just so normal up until that point. Like, it's okay for a TV show to have a normal fucking relationship in it without lows. You know what I mean? Like, some people
exactly
have lows in them, but they're not as so catastrophic. We're going to break up or whatever.
Right.
And it felt like the show, to me at least, in season 9 only, really, is when they were like, all right, well, we got to put some drama in here somewhere. So I guess we should do it with Jim and Pam and, make Jim have to work far away, even though it's really just John Krasinski doing movies. And that's why he wasn't in the show for a little bit. But that was the only thing I didn't like about their relationship. Everything else, when they were like getting married and having kids and stuff, I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah, it was sweet, man.
Yeah,
they
it's
were
an actual relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, they were a good couple. Like, I definitely bought it kind of in a similar way to the way, and I know the character trajectories ended up differently, but just like I believed those two characters the way that the girl and the guy from Once. I'm just gonna bring Once up because I love Once.
Yeah, because Once.
Kylie,
yeah. That
Kylie, you ever heard
better,
of it?
that's totally better.
I've
than
never
Children
heard
of
of.
Men.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of this.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I erased it from my mind. So.
Sweet. Good
Saw
call.
it once, literally.
Oh,
Oh.
hey, it's meta.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I love the choice. It's
that
just I was trying to see it through other people's lens. I crafted my list. It's my y'all can craft your list however you want.
Yeah,
was
I
trying to
crafted mine
explain my
selfishly.
logic.
I don't give a fuck about anybody else's feelings. Like, fuck you, man. We're living in a
That's totally
toilet
fair.
paper shortage world. Fuck your feelings. Give me something to wipe my ass with.
Yeah, I don't want to have to, wipe my ass like an Indian does or something. And I don't mean like Native American. I'm not being insensitive. I mean people from India
right.
who use their hands.
Dot, not feather.
And
right.
a bidet and stuff.
Is it still okay to specify them as dot, not feather, or feather, not dot? Is that still kosher?
I'm not okay with it.
Sure, are we allowed to do that?
For the sake of a podcast. So thanks for that.
I'm cringing. So like, and not even on purpose. Like, so I assume not, but I don't.
It sounds like we're not cool then anymore. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Also, I wasn't saying it to say it. I was just saying
feeling
it
out.
to clarify
No,
if it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not, so I won't do it anymore. And yeah, I'm glad we had this talk.
It's very informative.
I don't know. I'm very indifferent about it. So
we're getting canceled. Welcome to the Canceled Podcast.
Welcome to Canceled the Podcast. We're here to make you feel good by making subtle racist jokes.
Oh yeah. That's what we do.
Oh God, if I ever I'm over here trying to make music and shit and putting it out there, and
hope they don't listen to
if
this.
they hear one of these episodes, even just literally pick one, like a lotto.
Yeah, just pick one.
Yeah, just pick one, and you'll hear some shit in here. You'll hear some shit that'll be clipped on Twitter and go, "Can you believe this fucking guy said this shit?"
Yeah,
and I'll have to type out this apology or whatever and be like, "Oh, scared dear, sorry."
I hope nobody gives a fuck about the shit that you say, and they give you shit for me and the stupid shit I say.
I would love that. As you guys know, my name is Jeff and not JD, so boom. There you go. Sorry that I'm not JD or something. Anyway, I love The Office. Kyle, what's your number 8?
It's one that I have on my list, and there it is. My number 8 is, and I'm not going to go on because we've been talking about this show a lot, or I have a lot lately. It's Letterkenny. There's no stakes in this show. You can literally just sit down and watch it.
It's true.
I think I watched the first 5-6 seasons, maybe in 2 days. It's just because it just goes by so quick. There's 6 to 8 episodes per, or I think it's just 6 episodes per season. Maybe 7 sometimes because they do a holiday episode. It goes by really quick, super quick even, and it's super great. It's very funny. And you want to
revisit it because there's a lot of mile a minute type jokes in there.
There are, and if you're talking about reused jokes or ongoing gags, this show's the king of that. So it's
basically Gilmore Girls,
it is basically Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, except Canadian. That's literally the only difference.
Except Canadian. That's the only difference. Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. And it's not a show that really needs to rely on we're gonna have big stars on it. You don't know who anybody is. I think Jay Baruchel shows up for one episode, and you're like, hey, I know that guy. And that's about the extent of their cameos. So I enjoy it. It's just really fun, very low stakes. But super very super funny humor.
It's a funny show.
That's the same word twice. So. It's funny humor, guys.
It's funny humor. It is humorously funny.
It's humorously funny. It makes me laugh and haha.
So thanks for Kyle recommending that show to me and giving me some laughs too. Last year, I think I watched it, or the year before. I don't remember. I lose track of time now.
2 new seasons came out last year. They're both good.
Jesus. Yeah. What a spoil fest. JD, did you get caught up? You got caught up on the show, right?
No.
You hate laughing.
Yeah, you hate it. That's fine.
Yeah,
no, that's fine.
It's almost like an explanation was coming or something. I don't know. It's crazy. No, so this was one of the ones that I'm like, I'm not going to watch fucking 13 minutes of commercials for a 20-minute fucking show on Hulu. So now that I'm living that good commercial-free life,
I love that
and have plenty of time on my hands, I'll get back into that shit. But I am not
super easy.
I'm not spending that much time watching commercials. Fuck Hulu, man. That Hulu without ads is bullshit.
So you're gonna really love it when you finally do the deep dive, the 1 or 2 day dive. That is really all that just showed my hands.
Right.
I really think it's gonna be up your alley.
I think I got through the first season. I suffered through one season. It was like I'm just gonna wait. So I'll get on it.
it's hard to like maintain like being in a funny spirit when there's like 4 minutes of commercials between each joke. You know, you're like, God damn it, you know, like
I hated it. Like,
especially for a comedy, it really breaks up like how you're like enjoying like a comedy.
Yeah, it made me not love watching How I Met Your Mother, which like you got to really, really try to get me to be in a bad mood watching that show. When it switched from Netflix to Hulu, that really bugged me. But, you know, don't have to worry about it anymore. So,
but, you know, I totally agree. It's something I've never really, it's something I've never really thought about until you started vocalizing it. That like having to watch like TV normally, like especially sitcoms, stuff like that, like it would probably kill me now. Yeah, because like you get into such a flow with the laugh of the show and the pacing of the show, and then it's just like, hey, let's talk about herpes creams. You know, it's like, God damn it, I was having fun, and you brought up herpes. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
The commercials where you suddenly get really real. They're like, are you depressed as fuck, you piece of shit?
Yeah, are you depressed as shit right now? And you're like, I mean, I was just laughing a second ago. I don't know, am I?
Do you have one hand in the grave right now because you're old as fuck?
Yeah. Did you buy your tombstone 10 years ago and you're like, wow, I didn't expect to make it this far? Is that where you're at?
We do reverse mortgages on tombstones now. So.
Are you trying
to sell your tombstones back to us?
You're going to sublet your tombstone in your plot.
All of that was a commercial.
You just lend it to somebody. Let them decompose there. Get them the fuck out when you die, and then you go in. That's
exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
All of that was a commercial for Sunny D.
Yeah, brought to you by Sunny Delight. Or some fucking drug called like Flam or some shit.
Flums and Papfoons cream.
It's like, did you just cuss at me in German, you fuck? Like,
oh man. Arschlacke. Sorry, that was asshole in German. I guess you figure that
out. I was thinking it was like cocksucker or something.
It was like ars. It's assholes. But
Gotcha.
Side effects include Skirbin Who cares you're going to take it because you're a sad piece of shit. My number 8 is not a sad piece of shit show. It's Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. It's my number 8.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. God damn it. How did I forget this on my list? That would have been super high up there. You know what?
That's a good fucking, like, I thought of that one and I was like, ooh, that's a good-ass pick.
Okay, so
this show...
I'm going to just put that here.
Because, there's definitely adversity in the show, obviously. Like, she's a stand-up, it's a female stand-up comic in, like, the, 30s, 20s. It's a long time.
No, it's post-World War II. It's like the 50s, man.
It's whatever. It's a long time. Point is, it's a long time ago, and women didn't really have a voice. Biological females didn't really have a voice in comedy. They really didn't, though. So, I mean, there's adversity in this, but it's just the way that she handles it. And, like her support system and stuff like that. She's got like this air about her that's very, I don't know. She handles everything very cleverly with with a joke, and she's very witty. This is literally by the person that wrote Gilmore Girls, so this is very
literally
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah,
no joke.
It's basically Letterkenny. But
wait, is this our inside joke that we do it, or are you being real right now?
This is for real.
By the Gilmore Girl person.
Yeah, it's for real by the creator of Gilmore Girls, Amy something Palladino, something like that. I don't remember her name.
Amy Palladino.
Amy Palladino.
The famous bassist, Amy Pino Palladino.
He's writing riffs and writing jokes. All right.
Yeah, this show is just really fucking funny. And if you're going to make a show about stand-up comedy, hey, make it funny. And they did that with such ease. Like, even dated comedy, where you can clearly point out when these jokes came out.
Jokes?
It's Jewish jokes.
Wow. And they're Jewish, so that's really offensive.
They are Jewish, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, Lenny Bruce is like the line. Like, he gets arrested a lot in that fucking show because he's doing fucked up edgy comedy for them.
Yeah, by that point in time. And what's really cool is they're writing this new voice in comedy for Mrs. Maisel.
Right.
And to invent this voice in comedy that didn't exist at that time out of thin air, and to make it kind of line up with what Lenny Bruce was doing.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It feels feasibly funny in that era, in that point in time, and it's funny now when we watch it. We're like, oh, this is funny.
Right.
Just I mean, good luck not binging this once you start. Like, I mean, it's so fucking easy to get lost in the binge on this show.
Oh, for sure.
And there's no like I said, there are points in adversity because you have to have cliffhangers in TV shows that get renewed over and over again. But it's still a these are mostly all the shows I'm recommending are like breezier watches for sure.
Easy breezy.
Zachary Levi impresses me in that show, man. He's funny as shit.
Yeah, he's great, and he's got man. They only had him in like one episode of season 3.
He was jacked. Like this was like
clearly this was like Shazam
he was
era.
still wearing the fucking George Michael suit underneath his doctor's
after the swimming pool, or
yeah. Oh my god,
the George Michael suit. Oh my god. No, but he was jacked. Like he clearly looked like a foot taller than last time we saw him. But it's a very memorable scene when he shows up. And
it is.
It's like the best material in the show is when he shows up.
Yeah.
It's so good.
She's
top notch.
She's a really interesting character, man. She's like perfectly imperfect.
Yeah,
kind of. Because the way she carries herself is
cool
that way.
Though. It seems like
she's totally cool with it. Like she's not even trying to fake being perfect. She's just like, well, this is me. This is who I am. Brosnahan has earned a lot of praise for that one, man.
Yeah, for sure. She went from being somebody that was like in just kind of not really a throwaway role. It was an important role in House of Cards that disappeared very quickly.
Right.
To where it's like now
household name.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. To anybody that's seen the show, you're like, oh, that's that really, really amazing actress from that one show who talks nothing like that at all.
No.
Everybody's got an affectation in this, except I think Alex Borstein is like the only one playing it straight.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she talks like that for real.
I like the Sophie Lennon, the put that in your whatever the fuck her line is.
Jane Lynch character,
Lynch's character,
perfect actress to play that role of like somebody.
Yeah, put that on your plate, like that, because that's emblematic of like the comedy that was actually selling back then.
Yes,
that like you watch it now and you're like, this is
just put on an.
Yeah, so we're in a different era of comedy.
Hey, wise guy, like
everyone's like they're from the newspapers, eh?
Yeah,
right.
It's very cartoonish.
Yeah, and there is some of that. The dialogue is snappy like that too, where it's from that era of like fast-talking newspaper editors or something.
Sure.
So that it fits the times completely, but it doesn't.
He's looking at you, kid.
It's never not funny. Oh my god, I fucking hate that line so much. Casablanca's overrated anyways. Casablanca's super overrated anyways.
Did not like that movie. Tried to watch it and was like, nope.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a fuck. I think that's the original line. That's Gone with the Wind. Another shitty movie. Anyways.
It's like 45 minutes in for me, and I was just like, can't do this.
Fun.
There's a lot of movies I just can't watch that are like from before 1975.
Right. If it's by Orson Welles, chances are I can finish it.
Yeah.
Because he did great movies that stood the test of time, really.
Yeah.
There's one movie I watched too where it's like the first half of it is from the first person perspective, and it's like a black and white movie. And I can pay attention to that. That's a gimmick, man. Like, but back then, that's fucking unheard of to do something like that. I think it's a Humphrey Bogart movie too, who was in Casablanca. That kind of blew my... I don't even remember the name of it now. I think it's like Man with Hands. Or I don't fucking remember the name of it.
Man with Hands. I'd watch that.
A Man with Hands.
He's a man with hands.
Anyway, Mrs. Maisel's great. Everybody should go watch it if you haven't already. Anyway, Jard, what's your number 7?
Well, I totally cheated and just plugged Maisel in at my 7 to make this easy. I probably would have had it a lot higher, but I
like it.
Yeah, wow. I just totally overlooked this show, which is like surprising. I was like, as soon as you said it, I was like, dude, that show did make me feel fucking good. Like,
yeah,
because I watched it, I don't know, before everybody else's world got turned upside down, mine kind of did a little bit too. And so this,
what happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay,
it was a tornado. Yeah, it was a tornado. You got some time?
A metaphorical or?
A literal tornado, bro.
Oh, like an actual?
Like a Gilmore Girls of a tornado, or?
It was the Gilmore Girls of tornado. It was quick. It was just wham, bam, bam.
Was it witty also?
It was windy. It was windy as fuck.
That's
it literally blew the roof off of my apartment. It was so good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, the show did a lot of that. So, and yeah, it really sucks. Sucks not having good shows. So this was a good show to have.
This was a good show. Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
And then the new season came out in December, so it was just all perfect,
Yeah, it lined up perfectly for sure. So that's your 7, and Kyle. Yeah, Kyle, what's your 7?
I had this at my number 1 for a while, but as I kept on thinking about it, and this is probably still my feel-good show, but there's just too much like, if you catch the wrong episode, you're like, that was not a feel-good episode. And it's Scrubs. And right now...
Slight push.
We're pushing that. We're pushing that.
Don't get out of here. Good job, you guys.
Yeah.
Good job, you guys.
Just trying to represent the JDs, yo.
Yeah.
Like,
Good for you guys.
I'm just trying to represent the.
I'm the
shows
Scrubs
that feel
guy,
good to
so I
watch.
feel just a little,
Yeah,
feel
like you
bad
hate the show. It's okay. It's okay.
Like
you hate the show.
I hate the show. Yeah, that's exactly right.
you just grown to resent it over all the years. Like, you're not excited about the Guy Love podcast. You're not excited about that at all.
No, I was that's the whole crux of bringing it up is like, and you can listen to a podcast while you watch this show.
It's true though. You can.
You can.
We're gonna discuss that.
I'm fucking doing it right now. Yeah, we'll discuss it though.
So my number 7 has probably the most, optimistic person in general in it as the lead character. Even though there's some shit that happens in it that isn't necessarily feel good, but it's Crashing with Pete Holmes.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because sure, he goes through some shit. Obviously,
some shit happens.
Yeah, but it's the Pete Holmes brand of comedy though. That's the feel good aspect of it. Is like his point of view is just
He's
so
very
drastically
feel good
different.
about all of it.
Yeah, it's like what if the show Louie, starring that guy that nobody likes anymore, definitely not the number 1 stand up comic working.
No, definitely not.
But it's like what if Louie had like a positive, optimistic perspective, and sure he goes through some shit like I said in the first season and onward, and there's some other stuff that happens to him in the 3rd season as well, but I don't know, overall on top of him just being like just looking at things through his lens, seeing things seeing the world the way he does, which is generally in a more positive way, or the way he assesses things is more appropriately analytical, and like his entire discussion that he had with Penn Jillette about religion.
Oh yeah,
Good.
Shit blew my mind, like, because he just sees the world totally differently. Even though he is religious and stuff. That was the whole debate. He's pro-religion. No, I'm not. I'm on Penn's side on this one. But spoilers on me.
Shocker.
Spoilers on my point of view in life. But it's just the way that they, I don't know, it just felt like a breezy watch every Sunday when this would air. I would be like, oh, yay, cool. I'd watch some dark shit like Westworld, and then I'd be like, ooh, palate cleanser. Like this, I don't know, it just felt like a good palate cleanser, even though, again, he does have relationship problems. But I think they're all relatable relationship problems. It's probably one of the most relatable shows I ever watched, which is probably another topic we could pursue another time.
Yeah,
Most relatable TV.
Yeah, relatable top 10, of
or
course. 'Cause
movie.
You can't be like, no, I felt that more. Like you can't really do a tourney on that.
Yeah,
but,
I think that's one that you specifically can only list that based on your perspective.
so
like
personal.
you can't consider anybody else's
These are
how
feeling
relatable
lists.
they are to it. Yeah,
right.
It's an objective.
It's
What do you mean you didn't
objective
feel
by
that way?
nature.
Right.
Right. No, you didn't. You didn't feel that way, fuckface. I fucking know.
Oh, you felt it out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good. That's a good. I can't believe we're doing this like 100 plus episodes in, but that's a good one to do just to get to know us on a personal level. Like, this is like, this show or movie is like a mirror to my life. So boom, here you go. That's what I love. But yeah, Crashing is super relatable. On top of it being, there's some feel good shit in it. I think Pete Holmes is just his general presence is so different than any other stand-up comic that has done this specifically.
For sure.
That it just there's like a warmth to the show that other shows like this lack. Like I didn't include Master of None for some of that. Also, I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole of the shit that Aziz had to go through. I just didn't really want to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Just don't even feel like plead the fifth, not talking about it.
Oh, so let me tell you. Okay.
Yeah, Crashing's a great show. So that's my number 7.
Really
JD, what's your number 6?
I put this was one that I don't even think I've ever watched it like all the way through. I've only ever piecemealed it, but I put Parks and Rec there, man.
Oh, cool. That's a great
feel-
push. That's a great opportunity to push something.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Let's talk about that shit later then.
Sorry you hate the
There's
show.
a lot of things that I need on my list that just didn't make it. So that was one of them
Yeah.
for sure.
God damn it. Serious voice, Jeff.
You just fucking hate little Sebastian, don't you? That's
I do.
that's really what it boils down to.
horse.
100,000 candles in the wind. So, Kyle, what's your number 6?
I hope this is a push. I don't know if it's not. Whatever. I just watched it recently, so it probably has something to do with that too. But it's Community.
That's a slight push. Yeah.
A little bit.
God, good. I'm glad it's just a little bit. Cool. All right. I don't want to talk. That's fine.
You know what?
Cool.
Fuck it. Don't even want to talk about it anymore. Not in
Well, the
life.
rest of my list is really stupid, so who gives a shit?
My number 6 is a show that nobody on this panel has watched, and I feel very confident in saying that as a fact. Mine is Pushing Daisies. You guys haven't seen this, right?
Are you pushing a show called Daisies, or is it a show? Okay, I'm sorry.
Why did I laugh at that? That was right there. It was right there for the taking.
It's right there. Yeah, I just stole it.
This is a show by TV god Brian Fuller, who I've brought him up on this podcast several times. He started American Gods. Stars fucked him. Now he's out of that show. Then what did he do before that? Hannibal. Hannibal is the other.
Yeah.
One.
That's the
Dead Like Me.
Sorry,
my his show as well. What, JD?
My internet just dropped out, so I did not hear what you chose.
Oh, Pushing Daisies.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
is that got Lee Pace in it?
Yeah, Lee Pace.
Seeing that one?
Hey, I like Lee Pace.
Lee Pace and
Okay, fuck yeah. All right,
Chi McBride and Anna Friel.
to get to that one.
Kristen Chenoweth. It's fucking awesome. So this is like a fantasy show where Lee Pace's character Ned has the ability to bring dead things back to life with a touch. It comes with stipulations, though. Like I can't remember what those stipulations are, but whatever. I'm reading the Wikipedia as well as I'm going through my memory of it. So he brings back his childhood crush, who's played by Anna Friel. And the way they interact with each other is like they have to use like plastic bags and shit, so they can't like touch. Like they have to like wrap their hands in plastic and stuff, and they can't ever touch or else she's dead again, basically.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it sounds like a dark premise, but the show is very light. It's a very, very light show. Like I was friends with somebody who was super religious, and she watched this show and loved it. So I mean, if you're talking people that are super strict in their viewing habits, that's like one of the most strict persons there is. And JD's internet dropped again. He just left.
Maybe he was just over. He was just over it.
He was just like, "Fuck this show. I'm out."
Yeah, I'm out. I quit. That was him saying that. I don't know what's happening now. I'm gonna have to think.
Yeah, he's gonna leave the call and come back as if he's welcome.
He doesn't even know.
She doesn't even know. I closed the call's closed now.
Nah, fuck you. I'm
no,
back.
He got in.
No,
he got in. Dang.
No.
God.
We finished. Well, we finished without doing
Yeah,
another one.
I know. I hope you didn't have any more because.
Wow, man, you guys really rushed through those final fucking
Number
16
5, is this
picks.
one number 4? Is this one number 3? Is this
You guys remember that one episode where we lost all of our recording and we had to do our
Oh
introductions?
my god, we had to talk so fast until like number 5.
That was great.
I think.
And
That was
I
so fun.
I probably listened to that like 20 times. It was fucking hysterical.
I gotta go listen to that one again.
Yeah, I want to listen to that
So
one again too.
So Pushing Daisies. So what he uses his ability for, he works with a private investigator to help solve like murder crimes. So he basically will go to the morgue with the PI and like touch the person that died and bring them back to life for a little bit. And they'll be like, and then they'll just be like, "Hey, how did you die?" And they'll have to go through the motions of like the person going, "I'm dead." They'll have to do that every fucking time. It's like it's a comedy too. Like there's a ton of laughs in this. It doesn't sound hysterical because it deals with death, but it's a really light show to watch. It's a fantasy, and I'm trying to compare it to something. God, what can you compare this show to? I mean, it feels in the realm of like something Willy Wonka did or something, like something light and breezy. Anybody can watch. The whole family can even watch this and enjoy it.
Okay.
It's like a Tim Burton type thing where whenever he was not, it's not even that gothic though. Like Tim Burton do gothic shit. It's not even gothic. So it's really hard to say. It's unlike most things, though. That's for sure. It's fantastic. It ended too soon. It was like a 2-season show, and they ended, and everybody was up in arms about it. They continued the show through like comics and tried to do a TV miniseries and movie, which again you could just do that now. I mean, fucking Netflix and Hulu's right there. But whatever, that's cool. That's cool. You know, you want to sit on it? That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, y'all would love it. There's even a musical episode too. That tells you the tone of the show. Like, you don't get away with a musical episode if your tone is like everything's dark and nobody's happy.
Right.
It's a very, very enjoyable show. I love it. Number 6. You'll feel good when you watch it.
Dope.
So JD, what's your number? Fuck. What's your number? What's your number 5?
Okay. I had my number 5 queued up. My number 5, though, I pushed it from earlier, is Scrubs, which I think is probably going to get pushed again.
Yeah, we're just doing a push again.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, so Jeff loves Scrubs now. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I guess Jeff is the only one that loves it. We hate it. So
wow,
clearly
it was my number 1 for a long time. But you guys, there are some very dark episodes in that show.
Yeah, I know, but it's the way the show handles it. I don't know.
It is, and it absolutely.
It's kind of like my thing with Crashing, where like there's some dark shit in that, but it's just the way the show handles it, where it doesn't really feel like it consumes you. The darkness doesn't. It's not like an episode of
No, there is.
You watch it and you're like, I need to take 5 showers to deal with like when they see us. Okay,
no, there's always like there's always
now.
levity and all those like dark moments in that show, and Crashing for that matter too.
I think feel good. I count profound moments as feel good as well, and there's a lot of profound stuff in Scrubs
very profound.
And the tougher episodes to watch. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get to that. So Kyle, what's your number 5?
Rick and Morty.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that show.
I love that show, man. I gotta get
it's
caught
one
up.
of my most rewatched shows. This is another one. It's really easy to throw on, and it's very funny. And again, like it's as layered as you want it to be. So if you're just watching it, like just passively, you're gonna get all like the fart jokes and like the little like surface level jokes or whatever. But then when you're honed in on it too, you're gonna get even more of the jokes. There's a lot of jokes to extrapolate from that show. Yeah. Depending on how many times you watch it and what kind of mood you're in, how tuned in you are, and everything. And I think that's like the true treasure. It's Trojan horsed full of jokes. I love it, and that show keeps on giving. We're about to get more in May. It's the perfect time to go back and rewatch a bunch of episodes and get ready for season 4 or 5.
4, yeah.
So yeah, rewatch it.
I love it. I didn't include it because Rick's an asshole, and I don't know that people could feel good about that.
Yeah, I know.
Sure,
there's a whole
funny,
song.
But it's
There's a whole song called "Feels Good" in this show. So that's another reason.
Yeah, but counterpoint, there's also one called "Go Fuck Yourself." No, I don't remember the name of the song that Rick sings.
It's I get your meaning though.
What does he sing to the heads? The floating heads?
Get Swifty.
There you go. Then that song is super negative. No, I'm just kidding. It's
about partying and getting wild, man.
I love it when they nuke the face and it just goes on the faces and they're like, not cool. Oh God, it's so great.
It's just ridiculous and just filled with just tons of humor.
It is. It's so dumb. Like
so ridiculous.
I have a friend that doesn't like, 2 friends that don't like it, and they're like, "Oh, it tries too hard to be smart," and I'm like, God, not really. Like the joke is in the meta thing. It's like supposed to be dumb, pretending to be smart, but it's really dumb.
Yeah.
So it's just a dumb, funny show. Like,
yeah.
There's nothing smart about Rick turning himself into a pickle.
No, and that's what's funny about it is that after so many people were calling the show really smart, like that's how like the creators respond. Like they're just like. Yeah. Guys, we turned our main character into we made a whole episode where he's a pickle and like it's supposed to be the greatest thing ever, and I don't know. Yeah. And that the humor on that level is good for me too, because the creators are self-aware of like what they've created.
I love that line at the beginning where he's like, what else do you want me to say? 9/11 was an inside job and I'm a pickle? Like because Morty doesn't get it. He's just like, why are you a pickle? I don't get it. What else is there about this that I'm not getting? Yeah. And he's like, what? 9/11's an inside job? I don't know what you want from me.
I'm a pickle, Morty. Come on. Yeah. There's all those memes going around right now where it's just like, it's different situations and someone just going like, and then he turned himself into a pickle and it was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. And it's like someone talking to Socrates, Luke talking to Vader. It's like they just say that line in all these different memes and it's so funny to me.
Yeah, the show brings Oh my god, so many fucking laughs, and Jerry is such a sad sack.
He's such a sad sack, yeah.
It was funny though, and Chris Parnell is like the perfect person to voice that as well.
So he's got the most pathetic voice in the entire world, and I mean that like in a good way because I know like he's really playing it up.
He does
like,
it in Archer too. It's like the same fucking role in Archer.
Yeah, it's the same role. Yeah, it's just a guy that just gets stomped on. You know.
Yes.
The show gives me a lot of laughs, man. Like, and again, like I'm still going back and watching like, especially the random episodes when they do like the cable, like the intergalactic cable TV episodes that are just like random stream of consciousness. Like, obviously, they all went to work that day, did drugs, and then wrote down a bunch of sketches. That's obvious. That's what happened.
Yeah. What's the name of that the franchise that they have in the show? The Ball Wranglers, something like that.
Something
One
like
of those
that.
guys. They keep showing up in different universes when they get like movies and stuff named after.
They get bigger and bigger. Yeah, depending on what universe you're in.
It's so stupid. I love it. But it's like their Fast and Furious type ensemble.
Yeah,
piece.
it's exactly right. Yeah.
God, it's so funny. Yeah, dude. And there's that whole Inception episode. I love it. Where Rick's in the point of view that Inception doesn't make sense and you can't make sense of it. And yeah, it's so funny. And Morty's on the other end going like, "Oh, it's not that hard to understand." Like,
yeah.
Oh man, I love the heist episode, even though that's like a new episode. And I think you just watched it, Kyle.
I did. Yeah.
I mean, that's like a go-to one of the best episodes I ever seen.
I love that episode. It's so perfect because like and they're just picking apart like heist like cliches and stuff like that. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, so much. Oh my god, I love how there's this entire montage. What feels like it's a long thing. It's really not. It's like 3 minutes or 2 minutes. But it's just the measures that Rick went to assemble that team.
Oh, and then it means nothing.
Yeah, they just go to the convention. It's just to get into the convention with the appropriate
He's like, all right,
number
that's
of
it.
people.
He's like, what's the next plan? No, that was literally it.
Yeah, that was literally it. All right, see you guys later.
Yeah, bye.
And it's like this epic music just stops then.
But so much great like just build up for all these characters and stuff. Like it's so stupid. Like
one of them's in a monster truck and like he just peeks out the window and just goes, "You son of a bitch, I'm in."
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
It's so dumb. I love it.
It's so dumb. Yeah,
it's so great.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'm the moron on this one. That's my bad. That's my B. I overthought it.
You're right. He's an asshole, but it's like it's cartoonish. Like it's just like no one's like this, you know?
Right. And there is an episode where they remove the negative aspects from them, as part of like that space spa therapy place. Rick and Morty's like negative aspects of them are trapped somewhere.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So I mean, there is an episode that calls that out as well. So I mean, it's not like it goes unnoticed how dickish they are.
I like the episode where they have to like trank like Rick, so he like is docile and like can't fight back or whatever, because they're trying to like they're trying to transport him or whatever, and he's just like he's acting like a pretty much like a child, like a whiny child. He's just like, I just want a cookie, like, oh, this is lame, like, but he won't fight back or anything, and they do that a lot where they just disarm Rick, where it's just like
I love the high school Rick as well. He just kept and he's like leaving subliminal clues that I'm unhappy.
Yeah,
help me, please help me. He's like, no, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm trapped in a closet, in a literal closet, in a vat, in the back room. And he's singing like on an acoustic guitar.
It's like, I wonder if he means something by this.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. It's such a fucking funny show. Goddamn. Anyway, my number 5. Are we on 5?
Yes.
That was your 5? Okay.
Yeah.
My 5 is Community.
We can. I guess we can continue that because I'm next, right?
Oh, you're at 4? You got Community at 4. Yeah. So, I put this at 5 because, like, I mean, this entire thing is a deconstruction of Jeff Winger's like cynicism. So, I mean, you want to feel good, you're going to feel good about this because it's about Jeff coming in with this fuck the world type attitude.
Yeah.
And his friendship with this study group kind of tearing down that wall. So
Mr. Gorbachev.
But it's ultimately that. So I mean, there's so much feel good shit there, and it's that same fuck as Rick and Morty. The co-creator of Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon. It's kind of funny that it's like the same sense of humor back to back.
It really is too. Like especially like when you're watching, because I've watched one like one after the other. And I'm like, oh man, like there's this like pacing to the humor that's just so
yeah. I see that.
similar. You know,
The self-awareness as well of like
the self-aware. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
of being like aware that you're telling a joke and you're going for effort in a joke to the point where you have a character go, "Are you trying to be funny right now?" Or
yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, I think
Community
is one of the best
Community having
characters ever.
Abed that just literally treats the show like it's a show, like his existence. He thinks he's in a TV. That's my favorite thing in the entire world. Like it's that's.
I swear, if I could do like a list of favorite characters in a TV comedy, like 5 of them would be from Community.
Yeah, same. Yeah, big time
like,
same.
Like Abed's amazing. The Dean's amazing. Chang is great.
So great. I like Chang in later seasons. He's just like, yeah, I used to be a teacher, and frankly, I haven't been utilized well since. That's the kind of self-awareness that I really love about that show. You know?
Yeah. Oh man, calling the season 4 the gas leak season is
because Dan Harmon's
pretty genius.
Yeah, it's super great. Yeah,
and they talked about Joel McHale and Ken Jeong have a podcast now called The Darkest Timeline.
Oh, get out of here!
Yeah, and they're not really talking about the show. They are talking about the show, but it's not like we watched the episode. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But they mentioned how like they finally talked about season 4, and they Ken was like, "Hey man, hey Joel, what do you actually think of season 4?" And he was like, "Obviously there were totally different writers in the room that were never in a writer's room before for Community, so that's why it feels so weird." But then when Dan Harmon came back in season 5 and the first script was written, and it was Repilot, I think it was the one with the Is it Jeff versus the Table? Is that the one?
Yeah, well, they go back and like he's trying to get like it's the Greendale committee so he can like help like sue the school or something, right?
Oh, the Table one is season 3 premiere. My bad. But yeah. He's trying to find out what happens to the friends in the study group. God, I need to watch I need to watch the show again. Fuck.
I just got done rewatching it. It's all somewhat fresh.
Wow, fuck, it's been so long.
Oh man, I think I've only watched the two newest seasons.
So I watched 1, 2, and 3 religiously back to back.
Yeah, that was just a throw-on show along with Scrubs.
Yeah,
with
and then season 4 happened, and I was just like less inspired, even though season 5 and 6 are fucking great.
Yeah,
6
and there are parts in 4 that are great. It's just like it's not that it's not the other
same
seasons.
Voice.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah. Man, I gotta watch that fucking thing again. But yeah, so I mean, basically, Joel was saying that as soon as they read at the table read, he's like, "Yep, that's what we were missing."
We're back.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's like this is it's just a genius script all on its own.
Well, it's funny because like the show continued to work even though it was bleeding cast members. Like it was just like, man, I don't understand how they still like made this show work. Because like once you lose someone like even Pierce, like someone like Chevy Chase, and then you lose Gambino, and then Shirley, like all like kind of back to back. Like it's a lot, but the show keeps on going on, and it's still funny. Like
it works too. Like
it rearranges. Like it adds some new characters. I like when they add in like Mike from Breaking Bad.
He was good.
Season, yeah.
Paget Brewster actually totally worked too. Like
I liked her too. Yeah,
uptight. She's like an Annie, but quirkier.
Yeah,
kind of.
Everyone's always all worried about her sexuality, and she's just like, that's none of your business. And it just makes a big deal about it not being anybody's business. Like, very funny.
Yeah, it's but yeah, they still made. How did they do that? They made it work despite not having beloved characters there.
There's later seasons where like when I think Shirley left, there's like a couple like background characters that are in like 3 episodes back to back, and in that 3rd episode they go like, they're really putting me in a lot lately. Hopefully I'll be an actual main cast member soon. Like literally, like one of the people says that like as they're walking by. And I'm just like, again, like I love that shit where it's just like constantly the show's like being like breaking fourth walls and stuff like that. It's just so funny to me.
Oh man, those first 3 seasons are fucking gold. I mean, season 5 and 6 are great.
Yep.
I just haven't rewatched them as much, but those first 3 seasons were pretty much fucking flawless.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah,
and that's my own fault for not rewatching the other seasons. But god damn it, and the Dean having such a more pronounced role in 5 and 6 too.
The Dean is so great.
I mean,
He's so hilarious.
It's just the best. I mean, he's making that entire drug seminar thing. He's making it up on the spot, dude. And they're just rolling cameras. Oh my god, dude! It's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. And you can watch the outtakes too on it, where he's just like making himself laugh because it's so ridiculous. Him running around pretending to play like 5 different characters in one scene. And like Joel talked about that too. And there's a Paley Fest, whatever it's called. They do like a festival every now and then where they have like casts of TV shows come in and do interviews, a panel or whatever. Community did one like last year, and they talked about like how that was like one of their favorite moments ever is watching Jim Rash up there making shit up on the spot for like 30 or 40 minutes, pretending to do a drug seminar to stall or whatever. And Joel's just like laughing hysterically behind the curtain and stuff.
That had to have been the funnest show to work on.
Dude, seriously, yeah.
Even in between all of Dan Harmon's like manic episodes and stuff like that, I'm sure everyone was just like, yeah, it's still the greatest time we ever had.
Right? Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would work together again in a fucking heartbeat. They always
100%. There's like no ill will between anyone. Well, maybe with Chevy Chase, but everyone else.
But he still managed to do like cameos and shit near the end anyway.
He did.
Very brief
he
cameos,
comes back as a hologram. And...
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Oh, gay thoughts, gay.
Gay.
When he's a wizard reading Jeff's mind.
He's pretending like to read his mind,
Oh my god. And then like his will, who reads his will? It's like I don't want to say famous. Famous might be the wrong word, but at least a known actor that plays the lawyer. Is it Walton Goggins?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like and he's reading the will deadpan, like calling Jeff gay to his face because Pierce wrote it.
Yeah,
it's
right.
So fucking funny, dude. Oh man. And then he's like less robotic as soon as that ends. He's like, "Let's go party, guys," or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, so now the bad news is out of the way.
Oh fuck! I gotta watch that show again, dude. Because like after season 3, I just didn't rewatch it again because season 4 wasn't as good, even though it's still got some good shit in it. But season 5 and 6 are so good. I really dropped the ball on that. I gotta watch them again. Yeah, I love that show. So JD, that's your 4 as well.
Yeah, and I mean that was actually just mostly based around my love of the first 3 seasons. Not that I dislike anything after, like you guys have been saying, but I like you have not gone back and revisited the whole thing. So gotta get on that shit because
gotta get rid of Britta. Gotta get rid of the B.
Gotta get rid of the Britta.
She's a GDB. Oh my god, I would get that song in my head
GDB.
all the time. I would get that song in my head, and they bring back songs like that in later seasons, like 5 and 6.
Yeah.
You'll hear it.
No,
you'll hear it in the background sometimes.
Yeah, no. My favorite thing is Troy and Abed's like. You'll hear like different like jazz versions of it.
You'll hear it in the elevator.
Through the elevator. You'll hear it throughout the entire it's the greatest thing in the entire world. Man, I love that.
Great.
Oh man, yeah. They have a good concentration on where to put their jokes and like what jokes to make repeating as well. There's not like a part where there's not. Oh man, they're really stretching that joke out. It never feels like that. Yeah, I love their bare naked ladies fight too. That sounds wrong when it comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But the band Bare Naked Ladies, they're fighting about the success of that band. At least Jeff is in the anti-Bare Naked Ladies. Not anti, but he's like, they're not that good, guys. Let's calm down. And everybody else in the study group, like, fucking respects the shit out of them. It's the craziest band to think of for that type of argument. But of course, Dan Harmon's brain just works like that. Like, or the writing room. The collective, I guess, of writers. I don't know how the fuck they landed on Bare Naked Ladies, like
because it's not a really polarizing thing. It's not a real polarizing thing in the real world.
No, it's not. Yeah,
exactly.
Like how many people do you know that have a strong opinion on Bare Naked Ladies?
Yeah,
fucking nobody.
That's what makes it even funnier. And the fact that he gets mad that they use a shorthand.
Yeah, like, B&L. Yeah,
like, yeah. I think it was Annie was like, "You got to respect B&L has won blah 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 Grammys," and he's like, "B&L, we're using a shorthand now. This is a fight. We are fighting.
We are fighting."
And he fucking walks off like he's so livid. Oh man, So many great fucking moments in that show.
Yeah, all the high concept episodes, all the paintball.
I love the Ken Burns blanket fort.
Blanket fort shit was awesome.
Yeah, dude. Because it's if you watch a Ken Burns thing, if you watch one Ken Burns episode, that's all you need to do is just watch one Ken Burns documentary thing on like the Civil War or whatever, and you'll be like, holy shit, this is that. It's literally that.
Yeah.
But in the context of it being a fucking blanket fort. So when I first watched it, I was like, what are they parodying here? I have no idea what this is. And then you watch one episode, you're like, oh fuck, that's genius. It's the same exact format. It's all the way down to like the narrator. It sounds like the same person. Yeah. It's not, but it sounds.
That's
like
hilarious.
Kyle, what's number 4?
My number 4 is, and it's another one that I chose because it's coming back on a network that no one's ever going to watch, so we're probably not going to see it.
Quibi?
But you can go back and watch the old episodes, and it's Reno 911.
I was going to say Reno 911, yeah, because as soon as you said a new service nobody's going to watch, I was like, yeah, it's Quibi. You're talking about Quibi? Nobody's going to fucking watch that shit.
No one's going to get no one's getting
So
Quibi.
they're not episodes, right? They're just like little blurbs.
That's my understanding, is that it's like 10-minute things or whatever that people can just watch. I'm so confused by Quibi.
I don't know what's going on, because there's
video.
movies too.
Does Quibi not know that like YouTube is a thing? You could like release content.
They put a lot of money into some of their shows. Are they shows? I guess they're shows.
I don't know.
But they put a lot of fucking money into this shit, dude. Like I cannot believe the amount of stuff that they were able to put. They're doing a Fugitive reboot.
I mean, it sounds like their concept from the ground up is just like, hey, so people don't have an attention span longer than 10 minutes, right? Sweet. Yeah. Let's build our entire fucking platform.
It's like, what if we made TikTok TikToks are much shorter, but what if we made TikTok or everybody remembers Vine, I hope, by this point.
I remember Vine. Yeah. Even I do.
But like, what if we made that like a Netflix? But like, you know, the span of what a Netflix show would normally be, you know, if you do the fucking fraction equation,
the equivalent
makes sense. Yeah, the equivalent of a Netflix show being an hour, 10 minutes for a short. Right. I don't know. I just don't. How are you going to make a good show out of like The Fugitive when it's 10 minutes long each episode?
Yeah,
I don't get that. Anyway, Reno 911's a great pick, man. Sorry.
yeah, absolutely. Plus, they're getting away with more stuff in the original than they'll ever get away with in whatever they're trying to do now because of the world we live in. So, yeah, Reno 911's hilarious. There is nothing serious about this show.
No, nothing.
It's not trying to make a point. No one is learning any lessons. We go back to the idea that like the characters are maybe overly stupid and that may stress people out, but like it's about it's about dumb cops. You know, like it's not real. Like these people are so obviously like hamming up these like ridiculous hyperbolic characters. It's so great. It's so hilarious to me. And there's a movie, so you can go watch that too.
Yeah, I really like them. I mean, if you're a fan of the show, you're gonna love the movie.
Yeah, if you like the show, you're gonna like the movie. It's just ridiculous. The whole thing is just, and it's so obviously improv. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay, 2 cops walk on and Terry's there, go. And then, and then the roller skating gay Terry is around, and it's just everyone's just riffing, and it's so quick. These people are just like kings of their craft. Really, really, really love this show. We're watching this show as well lately, and it's been
that's one of the best rewatches I ever had.
It's so hilarious to me.
Best rewatch I ever had.
There's an episode where they're trying to get like this guy to like get his pants back on. It's like, you have to wear pants. You got to wear pants. He's like, I'm wearing pants. You put on your pants. Put your pants on, and it's so fucking stupid. And again, like when you think about how like no one knows what's going to happen in these like scenes or whatever, it just makes it like even better. It just makes it better for me. And they add characters as it goes on. Every edition is always great. Like every person they add like as it goes on.
I agree.
It's just hilarious. So, yeah, man.
That's a fucking great pick. God damn it.
God damn it.
My number 4 is Scurbs.
Scurbs, huh?
Yeah,
Sweet.
Scurbs. Yeah. Offshoot of Scrubs. Starring Brack Zaff and
wow.
Funnel Bazon. Yeah.
Funnel Bazon?
Cherasalk and
Cherasalk, yeah.
And whoever plays Carla, she was never in any TV show again.
Sarah Chalk's at least doing, fucking Rick and Morty. So
Yeah, she's on that. And
suck it, Carla.
No, wait, she's not on the Connors. The original Becky is playing.
She was on like the first episode, right? Because was she trying to get like someone to have a baby for her?
Yeah, she was. She was trying to get the original Becky to have her baby for her.
Yeah.
Which was all meta.
It's super meta, everybody.
But then she disappeared. So I don't know what happened with that. No, I'm just kidding. She did have a baby, but it was her own. Spoilers on the Connors. Welcome to the Connor cast.
Also, Roseanne died in the show, so sorry.
Yeah.
Death by Ambien Twitter.
Yeah. My God.
Don't Ambien in Twitter.
Yeah, I just love this show, man. It's like one of the least cynical shows I could think of. The less cynical the show is, especially like the fronting character of the show, the lead character of the show, like who's the voice of it. JD is literally the voice of it, not you, JD. The show, JD.
Yeah.
He's literally the voice of the show. It's his inner monologue the entire show.
Yeah.
It just feels like. Yeah, I feel like the high placement is Oliphant. It's Oliphant as fuck. So
Oliphant as
it's justified.
Justified.
That show sets up like everything real quick. Like you get who all the characters are very quickly and what they stand for.
I just watched the first episode again because I'm gonna listen to the podcast.
Me too. Yeah. Super excited about that podcast.
So I watched the first episode just now before we recorded, and like it's crazy how much you know everybody. By the time the episode's over. Like, the janitor's already sworn his vendetta against JD.
Dr. Cox has already been on 4 rants.
Yeah, he's already been on 4 rants, and he's shown that he can be a good mentor by the end of it. He's like, you got this.
Always. That's
And you see Kelso's evil side. You see exactly who that guy is.
Yeah.
You just get the dynamic of all of it.
Yeah, you know that him and Turk are like best friend. Like you get everything. He's going after the cute girl on his team. So you get all of it. Like you get like here begins the chase. Here's this. Like all the chess pieces get set up in that first episode.
And
it's crazy.
The
episode's like 22 minutes. Like it's like how does it set up that much shit?
Right. How the fuck did you do that in a pilot? And you get the dynamic of the medical interns and the surgical interns and how it's like jocks versus nerds or something.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Who the fuck? How did you write this? This is like one of the best pilots ever. Honestly, like
I totally
for
agree.
A comedy, like how did you set it up like this? And again, 22 minutes in and out, and you know who everybody is and the dynamic of the entire hospital, more or less, and how demanding the job is. Like it feels like an accurate portrayal of a hospital like that, like a public hospital.
Yeah. They said they got a lot of consulting on like so everything that they always say, all the medical lingo is always like real and everything. It's more real than like Grey's Anatomy and stuff, which they have a whole episode about making fun of Grey's Anatomy pretty much. Whenever that shit starts getting it's really funny.
I'm just kidding.
They're making fun of it. It's like you know what I like best about Grey's Anatomy? How realistic it is, and they'll like look at the camera.
They were on the same network.
It's super funny. Yeah.
Like they weren't. I guess they might have been on the same network at the time because this is one of those rare things where NBC canceled the show and then ABC picked it up.
Yeah, and it lost a lot of its teeth when that happened.
It did.
Yeah.
Because they did the final season, the final official season, then they did the 9th season with the new class, which has the girl from *Halt and Catch Fire* on it,
and Squints Jr.
Yeah. That's right.
Squints Jr. and Eliza Coupe, who we all know is an amazing comedic actress. She's in Feature Man.
Yeah, which just came out this weekend.
Yeah, season 3 just came out this weekend. It's funny so far. I'm halfway through it.
Cool. I'm gonna get to it.
There's a surprising cameo from a character from our history.
Oh wow!
And it's like it's fucked up, but it's funny fucked up. Like it's you'll laugh when you get there. You'll be like, what the fuck? Come on, man. And Seth Rogen's character's name's Susan. I totally forgot that after season 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh man,
that show's ridiculous. I like that show a lot.
Yeah, me too. Scrubs is it helps that the show has something to say. Like it has something of value to say.
And there's always a lesson. It's very South Parky where I learned something today. Like always, like JD's like, and today it's like there's always some kind of breakdown, and it's never too like preachy. Mm-hmm. It's everything's very I don't know. Everything's very underhanded.
And it really knew how to balance funny and poignant. Like
Yeah,
I mean, this
big
is just
time.
like one of the best feel good. I know there's some dark shit that happens in the show.
Yeah,
It's
no,
in a
I totally
hospital.
agree.
There's gonna
Again,
be
this is
shit
my
that
number one for the
happens.
longest time. I just kept on
Yeah.
knocking it down as I was just like, well, like, what if you accidentally turn on the episode where Brendan Fraser dies?
Yeah.
That would not be a very fun time.
Yeah,
Wait.
true. It's a good point. All right, that's fair. God damn it, son of a bitch. It's a great show though. That's my number
It's very
4.
well, but like you said, though, how they handle that episode is really like sweet and innocent. Like there's always an innocence about the show. Because
Yeah, it's
JD's
super
like a boy,
non-cynical.
like so boyish,
Yeah.
non-cynical. Yeah, I mean that's absolutely right.
Yeah, my top 4 shows are like the least cynical shows. Like fucking like, I mean, at least they have the characters in them are like the least cynical characters, the lead characters especially that you'll like ever think of. You'll be like, oh yeah, they are super optimistic, and it's kind of annoying. It's not annoying though.
So It's Always Sunny is definitely one of yours, then. Okay.
Yeah, so Scurbs is my number 4. Scurvy. So JD, what's your number 3?
Yeah, I literally have no idea why I put this so high. So I'm just gonna say it and then hope that you guys make my point for me. Or not. I don't know. I put IT Crowd at number 3.
It's a push. It's a push.
Wow.
Really? Are you serious?
It's a hard push.
That
the
is
hard-
fucking
It's the
incredible.
hardest of pushes.
Wow. Wow.
Push it as hard as you can because we'll be talking about that last.
Wow. Awesome. All right. I feel much better about
singing with it. So stupid. So Kyle, what's your number 3?
It's probably maybe a push. It's happy endings.
It's not for me.
No? Okay.
Honorable
good.
mentions, because I
Great.
have too much distance from the show. I haven't watched it again in a long time.
You have to watch again. I watched it last year.
Never seen it.
Again, whenever we thought about this list, this is the very first show that I thought of.
Happy in the title.
It's got happy in the title, and
Yeah.
it is just ridiculous. Even when it's about like, oh, like there's like friction in the group because like people are fucking each other. It's never serious.
No, it's not,
It's another one where like it's not trying to make any points or anything. It's just trying to make jokes, and everyone is so hilarious. This cast is so ridiculously funny. Some of these people, you don't really see much anymore, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does blow.
Yeah,
I remember when. Oh fuck! Was this the show that conflicted with New Girl?
it came out at
The
the same
show
time.
that Damon Wayans Jr. left New Girl
Yep,
for?
yeah, that's right. That's absolutely true. Yeah.
And then he came back. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that and being like, "Oh man, how dare you!" And then I watched Happy Endings, so I was like, "Okay, I get it."
Oh yeah, no. You went, good
Okay,
move.
fine.
Yeah,
Good for you,
move.
man. Let me find who ran the show, because I remember it being it was created by somebody I've never heard of. A former showrunner of Scrubs ran this one.
Oh,
So did Marry Me. I really liked that show. That show was really funny, actually. It was like Ken Marino and Casey Wilson, but they got canceled after like one season, even though it was really fucking funny. But yeah, I love Happy Endings, dude. Obviously, because the show too.
If it's been a while for you, yeah, it's really good
Yeah.
still.
This made me
it's
realize. I
very
don't know
good to
about
watch.
you, but it made me realize that Alicia Cuthbert is really funny.
She's very funny.
funny. Yeah,
She's extremely funny in the show. Yeah.
yeah. She's got real chops. And
Well, and she's always been like extremely hot to me, and they really they
Same.
don't sexualize her in the show. So
no. She was like, "Hey, can I act in the show and be
Yeah,
funny?"
she's
And-
like, "Can I
yeah.
be a real character in the show?" And like, it was very much to her benefit because like she's one of the best parts about the show.
I've always thought Casey Wilson was hilarious. Eliza Coupe is fucking hilarious. Obviously, I mean, we just talked about her in Future Man. Zachary Knighton came out of nowhere because he was in that shitty ABC show Flash Forward, and that was it. Like he was like a guy in that show, and that show got
I
canceled on a
remember that
cliffhanger.
show.
Yeah, because I was like hoping for another Lost with that show, and it fucking wasn't that.
Yeah, everybody was.
Yeah, so like this dude kind of came out of nowhere because he was like this serious, like well-intentioned guy looking for a girl who's romantic in Flash Forward.
Right.
And in this, he's like kind of a dork. He's Alex's ex-fiance.
Yeah.
So it's just-
He's the dork of the show.
Yeah, he's the dork of the show.
Yeah.
Who's kind of like, he views himself, or at least he's going out of his way to prove himself as the cool guy of the group, but he's fucking
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
They
he's
always
such
make
a
fun of
dork.
him.
Yeah.
Especially Adam Pali's character, always making fun of him.
Yeah.
At least Adam Pali's still getting work. I mean, he shows up in the most random shit sometimes.
And he's probably one of the better parts about that show too.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
He's so great. Yeah.
He's gay, but he's not like, he's without the stereotype.
Yeah.
Which I really admired about this show. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
yeah, those gay people like that exist, you know? Like, they're just going to be... Like the gay Kieran Culkin character in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I'm gay, I'm just going to fuck guys. Like, that's my character.
That's my character.
Yeah. Like, I'm still going to be like... I'm not just going to... Oh, my God, hey, guys. Like, every other thing that came out around this era kind of personalized or characterized gay people like that, I guess. Yeah, there's some great cameos in this too from people throughout the show. Damon Wayans shows up to play Damon Wayans Jr.'s dad, I think.
Yeah.
Which is a fun. I remember that being advertised, and I was like, "Ooh, that's gonna be good." Yeah. It got canceled after 3 seasons. 3 seasons is a good amount of shows for an ABC show, I guess, but episodes, I should say. But it was still kind of like a real bummer. They kept trying to restart the show over and over again after it got canceled, but then it just didn't happen.
That sucks.
I know. Really they tried, man. That sucks, yeah. And then Marry Me came out, which was kind of an extension of it because it had Casey Wilson in it. Not the same character, but it was just the fact that it was like same showrunner, Casey Wilson, that sense of humor. And Ken Marino's in it, who's also very funny, you know, from like Children's Hospital and stuff like that.
I do love Ken
Party
Marino.
Down. Yeah. Party Down. Shit, that's a good one for this.
Oh, damn, that would have been, yeah.
Fuck. That's a goddamn, that's a good show.
God damn it, yeah.
Damn it! Such a good show. But, yeah, that's another good show where it's like it got a good ensemble cast, but it had 1 season, so you're kind of like, well, I really didn't get enough of it. It kind of sucks. But it is really funny though. It's I guess you can view it as a companion show. So basically, watch Happy Endings, find Marry Me, and watch that, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I got my fill, because it's the same sense of humor, same exact fucking sense of humor.
Oh wow, okay,
yeah, it's really good. Yeah, that's a good pick, and that's an honorable mention for me. I'm kind of upset I didn't rewatch it yet. I assume it's on Hulu because most ABC shit is.
It is on Hulu, yeah.
Cool, I'll watch it there. So we're on my number 3. My number 3 is uncharacteristically high, like unpredictably high, even though we don't really talk about this show with much admiration, at least nowadays. I mean, because it ended, and I don't know, you guys. I think you guys jumped off the train or whatever. But my number 3 is Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh no, I finished that show. I like that show.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did fall off the train, so I'm clearly wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're fucking wrong.
I just don't like Joy, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, this show just exudes that. I mean, this is like the most optimistic. This show would be number 1 if it weren't for like just have my general feelings of the overall content of the show. Like, it's still a really good show overall, but it's Ellie Kemper's character, Kimmy Schmidt, like that elevates it in that feel good area big time because it's like the most optimistic. She's had the worst thing. I mean, one of the worst things you can imagine happening to you, like being fucking kidnapped by a cult leader and stuff.
Right.
And she's still optimistic as shit coming out of it, you know? To the point where she's not even saying curse words and stuff. So, I mean, you'll feel good as shit watching the show. On top of that, the writing is on par with 30 Rock. Like, at least in terms of joke delivery and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's all fucking there, dude. Like, I mean, it's so goddamn funny. I remember particularly being impressed with the last season, with the writing especially, because it's just kind of one of those things where, like, the show would disappear for a while, even though it's... You know, it's the normal trajectory of any show. It's like once a year. But it's just the fact that it's Netflix, so you watch them all in like one weekend. And then like a year later, like, oh yeah, that's right, this show is funny. Like, you just kind of forget. You have to remind yourself. I love the fake crime documentary with about that DJ. That was really funny.
Oh yeah, me too. I really like that.
Kind of came out of nowhere. DJ Fingerblast.
Yeah, no, that one was super great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Standout episode for me as well, yeah.
And I think that was that the one where he's trying to get John Hamm to DJ his thing, and John Hamm always coming up and acting like he's a victim in all this.
Yeah,
Every single time he gets the limelight.
He's the cult leader, yeah.
Yeah, it's so fucking, and he plays it brilliantly because like it's every time he comes back, it's like he's reiterating something that you might have heard in a real news headline from a guy that was accused of something. He's always like, well, do I not get a fair trial? Like, he's always saying shit that you hear whenever somebody gets accused of something in the quote-unquote Me Too hashtag whatever the fuck thing. So he's always saying something. And then the Sliding Doors episode in the final season was really good, too, where it's Kimmy's like a piece of shit. And she's like a businesswoman.
Yeah.
And she's cussing and stuff, and like, she's just an asshole. And that kind of came out of nowhere, too. So the show's not afraid to take risks. At all, with their characters and the content. And it's just you talk about feel good. This is like one of the most feel good shows there is. She shows it's good. I'm letting the booze get to me.
Boozy, boozy, booze.
So that's my number 3. So JD, what's your number 2? It's totally wrong. What's number 2? Totally wrong.
Man, I was gonna get up and get some whiskey. I have to talk now. Shit.
Yep.
That's because it's my turn to get whiskey.
Ooh. So I put this show at number 2. That's where we're at, right? 2?
Yeah, 2.
Yep.
Okay. I know we talked about it, and you mentioned that it wouldn't be high on your list because of the ending and how that would bother some people. But it doesn't bother me. I don't care about it. I love the show. It's How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
Wow.
Like that
That's
show.
fair. It's totally
that show
fair.
has something, and I know we've talked about this a lot in this terms. Like, if you throw on a random episode on the show, it might not be the most cheerful experience, and this show has that. It's got a lot of really heavy moments.
Marshall's
But
dad is dead episode.
Right.
Oh my God! Don't start on that.
I
One.
don't feel good at all right now.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? If you keep watching, you get the funeral episode, which is funny as fuck in some
yeah,
parts.
It might be
it's
one
so
of the funnier
funny.
episodes.
It's so good. I just
what you need, baby girl.
yeah. Come on, mama.
She's
Mama,
16.
Yeah,
Nick
come on,
going
mama. Yeah,
big
she's like,
here.
come on, mama. What you need?
But then that episode also has where he listens to the last voicemail and everybody's getting emotional with him.
Oh yeah,
and
that
that's another
does.
whole set of tears for me.
It does. It does have that.
It's like, y'all laughed. Well, blam.
Yeah.
I do
show
think
does
it's
that really
one of those
well.
shows that even when the stuff is getting heavy, it's always about something that's really relatable and that you can feel good about it. Like
I'll be right
I don't know.
Keep talking.
I just totally imagine it being one of those shows for a lot of people, like it is for me, where there are a lot of you throw the right episode on at the right time in your life, and it's the right thing you needed to see.
Yeah, so that's how this show and Scrubs is like that for me, where it's like I'll turn on just a random episode and then I'll be watching it and somehow it's directly reflecting to something
Exactly.
that I'm like suppressing or not dealing with or dealing with, or whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's fucking wild, and that's
weird.
what you
and
get.
also, and also Barney hit on some girls along the way, so that was fun. So.
Yeah, Barney reminds you of all the shit you can't do and say anymore.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
But he's still so fucking lovable despite being a complete sociopath.
Absolutely. It surprises me that that's a CBS show. Some of the stuff that they got away with, and
it's only because it's Neil Patrick Harris, really. Like nobody else could have gotten away with that type of character because he's gay. So there's that.
So
there's
he can
that
be
disconnect.
a womanizing piece of shit. Yeah. So
because that's so counter to who he is.
it's called acting.
Right. It's weird. It's weird how that works. It's like people doing things that they aren't for money. It's crazy.
It's almost like it's their job. It's so weird.
It's almost like they're contractually obligated to do what you're bitching about, you fuck faces. Anyway, so this show makes me feel good. I know saying fuck faces doesn't really embody that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just the ultimate. I mean, it is rewatchable. I know that's a separate category, but I think that's what makes it so rewatchable is that there are just so many good things about those characters and what they do and what they go through and how they grow.
And you get great cameos, like awesome cameos through the entire show. You get great cameos.
Yep.
Like Will Sasso's character is great.
Oh my God! Hey man, looking at my toupee.
Are you looking at my toupee?
It's like, no, I wasn't. Okay, just making sure.
Hey, we really beat those guys up, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we totally
God.
did.
Oh my God. That show's so.
And then he comes back later as the they hired him as like the bouncer for their puzzles bar.
Puzzles?
Yeah. That's the puzzle.
Puzzle.
Yeah. Why is it called that? That's the puzzle.
That's the puzzle.
My God.
Inside jokes in that show are just top notch.
Oh
They
my God,
really
they
are.
were. Yeah, the way that they serialized the show's comedy, as well as its story. I mean, it's just there's so many payoffs for long-term viewing. You have to start at the beginning if you're starting it. And honestly, season 1, pretty good. It was sold to me as pretty good. Like it's meant to kind of hook you for later seasons, and you definitely get acclimated to the customers. What? The characters dynamic.
Yeah.
The customers always right. The character dynamic. It's meant to just kind of like get you comfortable with them.
Yeah.
Right? And like season 2, much like The Office, season 2 just like a whole other fucking level, dude.
Yeah,
So
I
good.
totally agree with all that.
Yeah.
Because I remember season 1 kind of being like, all right, It's good.
There's some really great moments in one though, like
There are.
the Liberty
one,
Bell.
Pineapple incident is so
Lick
good.
the Liberty Bell's the first one where I was like, this is the potential of the show right here. This is it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like texting him.
Look at me,
pictures of
Ted.
him
Ted,
looking
look at me.
yeah.
Ted, look at me, Ted.
Oh my God.
That whole gag was so good. And then fucking Marshall, we're going to Philly, and he keeps on busting U-turns on the highway.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not? Okay, you want me to go home? All right, Oh, it's back home, Philly!
Being a lawyer had better be awesome.
Also, yeah,
the test and singing.
all these characters are like some of the, like, I think you were saying this with Community, Jeff, but like it goes like doubly for this show for me, where it's just like I think like all of these characters are amazing, like every single one of them. Where there's not a single one where I'm just like, why'd you write this?
Funny, if I ranked those characters right now, Ted would be at the bottom, and he's the main fucking character.
Ted would be at the bottom of all
the
those
show.
characters. That's same, me as well. Yeah, he'd probably be at the bottom, which is funny.
I'd put probably Robin at 1 because she's just got so many layers to her. Like, she eventually turns a corner later on, kind of like Ross went more dorky, a little way too dorky in Friends. But she became
manic.
Pretty much. But she became more like layered.
Yeah,
and like more of the comedy role in later seasons and funny irrational, like with Patrice and stuff. Nobody asked you. Like she gets so fucking mad. And it's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so brilliant. And then maybe Barney second, just because he has the best jokes.
Barney second, or it might be Marshall second for me.
I think I might actually have
Marshall's like the guy you know.
Put Ted above
you know what
Lily.
I mean?
Yeah, Marshall's definitely a guy you know.
I know.
I'd put Ted over Lily.
I would put Ted over Lily. Lily kind of bothers me.
Yeah, you know what? I get that because she is a little like vindictive and
she is the puppet master. She's the machination type person.
She really is. Yeah, and it's even like the show even like brings that up also. Right. But like, and she just derails a lot of stuff all the time. Just like, well, we're just gonna go to Paris. It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
fuck
me then. Yeah, fuck
judge career. Yeah.
She didn't pass the front porch test. Yeah. Like, oh, you're straight up an asshole. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're a crazy person. Well,
yeah, okay. I love her and Marshall's. I saw the episode recently where they go like I forget who finds it. I think Barney finds the box of side bets between her and Marshall.
I can't remember either.
Or maybe it's Robin, something, I don't know. And so they're just like,
it's not.
Yeah, they're just like reading all these crazy bets that they've had over the years. It's like, man, this couple is fucking insane. Like, and Marshall's so much more endearing, and Lily is fine. Like, I love most of her character, but yeah, it's just it's the constant, like you said, derailing of plans where I'm just like,
sometimes Ted's
she's right sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes Ted's like romantic monologues and stuff kind of like I think I should say early on. His earlier monologues and stuff, I know he's going for earnest, and sometimes for me it's just a little too like stage play acting, a little too not try hard, but a little bit try hard.
But the things that he does, like that's never how I would pronounce like romantic gestures and stuff like that. So like that I'm just like, you're a doofus. There's a lot of that.
Like, oh god, this guy's a clown.
He's a clown and he's a creep. He's a creepy clown.
The rain dance thing was like, oh, this guy's a little right. It's gonna be a little awkward. Good episode, but it's still kind of like, oh, this guy's a little desperate. But later seasons, though, when he's doing the time travelers thing, imagining all this entire scenario and how he would go to the mother's apartment and talk to her and stuff, and he's getting emotional and stuff, and I'm like, that shit, I'm getting chills talking about it. That shit's a great scene. That's some good fucking writing. I feel like it's more of the writing and the acting coming together later seasons.
I know. I think he gets a lot of really, really, truly endearing moments and very, very like great moments like at the end. Like he gets a lot to work with.
He's the personality that's like meant to be a dad and tell dad jokes. So it just makes sense that he would slide into that role.
He's ready to do the dad joke thing like immediately. Like
exactly.
He's full of that
absolutely.
Shit. His chemistry with Kristen Milioti too, when she comes in as the mother at the end, is like the best shit in the world. My God,
I can't not cry when she's singing the La Vienne and Rose or whatever the fuck it's called.
That's right.
Yeah, dude, that song is already, when it's sung well, it's really powerful anyway. But like, there's something about her singing it.
I mean, I kind of knew that she was already a good singer because I knew her from she did during America's Got Talent when I used to watch that bullshit. That emotionally.
She
was on there. as a guest in a guest performance, she and whoever played the guy did a performance from Once because she was the first. She played Girl in Once, the musical version.
Oh shit! Okay,
So I watched her do Falling Slowly with somebody. She played piano, and the guy played whatever. She's a great musician. She has
crazy.
so
I have
many
to check that
YouTube
out,
clips
man.
out there of her singing and stuff. So when they introduced her singing, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
I already knew
Yeah.
she was good. So like, yeah, it was awesome.
Totally surprised. So
And
that's
she
cool.
is so fun. She is so much like the character that they cast her as, which
Yeah.
you could argue for a lot of those actors actually. Even Neil Patrick Harris, some of his eccentricities are like his comedic timing and stuff is very Barney,
Yeah.
just in general. But yeah, she's very much like her character because I've seen her in interviews and she's quick on her feet too, and like her with Ted just made complete sense. And the build up to how Ted met the mother and them talking to each other was totally fucking worth it. Like I mean,
Yeah, it
I
was
know
so
people didn't like what
worth
was
it.
after that, but like their interaction with each other and how like they were
That was
so
it.
caught up in like the destiny of how they met and how much they had in common already, to where like they paused and they just said hi to each other again.
Yeah.
I was like, that's come on, man, that's fucking beautiful. That's
Yeah, it was
everything we
so real
wanted.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, it was such a gorgeous ending. And then people can just stop it after that if they don't like it. So
Yeah.
I loved it.
I thought
love the
it
entire
was
journey,
great.
but you know,
I thought
it was great.
I thought it also made sense because literally the entire show was about him trying to bang Robin. So
I think this is people just confusing the show not being what they expected with being.
yeah,
bad. And
right. You
it
got
suffers,
Last Jedi.
it suffers from that. Yeah,
You
exactly.
got lost.
Directed the last season of How I Met Your Mother.
yeah, you guys got losted. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, me and JD, we love. I mean, wait, JD, you loved the last season of Lost, right?
I love all of Lost.
Okay,
like
good.
I did not like the ending after it aired, but I have come around on it.
God, I loved it
after talking
since
with
it
a lot
aired.
of people.
I loved it since it aired. But yeah, it's one of those things where like, man, it feels like the more divisive the ending, except for Sopranos. That ending, I know what the ending is, even though I haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't. I mean,
ending feels like a
Sopranos is
middle
only
finger to me.
divisive just because it's open ended. Like it's not like either outcome is polarizing in and of itself. I think it's just people don't know, and they like to be told what to think, and that's the only reason why I hate The Sopranos.
Well,
I
that
just-
and the ending just doesn't make sense to me. We're gonna go on this whole journey with these characters, and then just that's it. They're just gonna gather in a diner, and then that's
mean,
it. And then
it's
fuck
about-
you, audience.
it's about the family, so that's kind of.
It's about family.
I mean,
Is Vin Diesel on that show?
He's not, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a thing that they say. Hey, I did it for the
Hey, how you doing?
family.
It's about family. How you doing? Hey,
Yeah, I mean, sanitation
All my
for the
interests are
family.
about the family.
Fuck
So I
you,
could-
pay me. Wrong thing. Whatever.
It is what it is.
It's what it is.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother. Great
Yeah.
fucking choice.
Feel
It's a
great
great-
about it.
it's a
Feel
great
good about
show,
that
yeah.
one. Thank you.
So
Also-
Kyle, what's your totally incorrect number 2? That's fine. That's
My
fine, though.
totally incorrect number 2 is 30 Rock.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Feel good
Yeah.
about that? Feel real
Yeah, I
good
feel
about
great about that.
On,
Yeah.
on minutes.
I am in the middle of rewatching this show right now, and
that? Genius. It's a
it's
genius show.
It's probably I don't know the 10th time I've watched this show. I've seen it plenty of times, but like I'm still laughing constantly during this show.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I just got through the episodes where Jack's dating like the woman with like the hollow bones. So every time like someone touches her, it's like my bones, my bones. It's the fucking stupidest joke in the entire world, but like it gets me every single time. And everybody, this is another one where like all the like everybody's insane on this show. Like every single Liz Lemon, like every single person is kind of insane. And I think the chaos that all that creates and all these characters clashing against each other, man, there's just some like just ridiculous like moments of comedy in this, and it's infinitely rewatchable. This is like Tracy Morgan's best thing ever. Hey, just get on here and be a nut job for 8 seasons, however long this show is. Love it, man. Love this show a lot. Jack Donaghy is one of my favorite characters ever. Him going into like not monologue mode, but like explanation mode, or like comparing himself to a shark, or like just always like going into like these like long like corporate like talks or whatever, are just so great. And you can just tell.
I love whenever Will Arnett comes in to guest star, and
oh my god,
and Jack is like forced to look in a mirror because Will Arnett is so much fucking like him.
yeah.
All the way down to how they talk. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
They could not have cast a more perfect guy to to combat with Alec Baldwin comedically.
My favorite line is like, "I'm straighter than you are gay, and I'm gonna get this job."
Yeah, because he's like, isn't he with somebody who's about to, like a woman who's about to die? Just
Yeah, he's
to
with
inherit
like
the money.
the CEO's like daughter, who's like
Yeah.
who's slightly touched, and yeah, that's the other thing. This show is wild. Like, I can't believe this show was still going on. Like when I moved out here to like the last season was still going on when I moved out here to Colorado. Like this show just
Right.
ended like just 4 or 5 years ago, which is weird to think about.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
But
'cause
like
Breaking-
some of those
when did
earlier
Breaking Bad
seasons,
end?
you're
I mean,
like,
shit.
holy shit! Like they really, like, wow, they really went for some of these jokes, especially NBC. You know, like it was just really weird that like, not weird, but just like great with the things that we got away with just 8 years ago, just 8 simple years ago.
8 simple years ago.
Yeah, I love this show, man. It's one of my favorite rewatches. I haven't
It is,
seen it maybe
every time
like,
I rewatch it, it's one of those things where like, oh my god, yeah, that's right, the show is genius, and I undersell it
yeah.
internally every time,
Yeah.
fucking time I do. God damn it, that's a good show. That's a good show, man. That's a good choice. My number 2 is a push from earlier. It's Parks and Recreation. Yeah. Guess how you guys feel about that?
I mean,
James
I have
probably getting
feelings,
booze.
but you know.
Yeah, Parks and Rec is. It's especially because of kind of like with Kimmy Schmidt in the last choice I had. This one's especially because of Leslie Knope and her like eternal optimism.
Yeah. So
even
true.
in her fucking position in government, which is supposed to be meaningless. It's just Parks and Rec, but she takes it so seriously. And she's there to service the citizen that she, even by the end of the show, turns April around and April starts giving a shit about stuff. You know, like that's the most cynical person on the show. God, it's so comical how she hates being hugged, especially around Anne. I love their entire dynamic, how much she hates Anne. It's so great. Anyway, this show is it's one of the best rewatches ever. It'll fill you with optimism, and I don't think there's... you know that How I Met Your Mother has those dark episodes where you can't really call them dark, but they're like episodes that deal with real shit.
They're just heavier. Yeah.
People die, you know, and it's sad as shit.
Yeah.
Hey, this doesn't have any of that. Hey,
No,
how you
none of
doing?
it.
Nobody
None
dies.
Of that. None of that.
All right.
None of that in this one. There's some good feel good shit in here that'll get you emotional. Like I think when Ben proposes to Leslie, it's goddamn beautiful.
Yeah.
And it got me a little misty eyed because I care. That's another thing. You care so much about these characters, man. Talk about
Yeah. You do.
this show, The Office, Community, 30 Rock, and what was the one we just talked about? How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if we talked about best characters in a TV comedy, they would all be in the fucking like top 10.
Yeah,
all of that,
for sure.
all of those shows would be in the top 10. Like
Yeah,
we would just kind of
for sure.
ignore all of the shows.
Yeah,
like-
probably.
Because Parks and Rec just has like the best ensemble. I think that's another thing that elevated the show for me. It has like it probably should be number 1 technically, because I've let it sit with me longer. But yeah, this one has like the best ensemble out of all the shows I've already mentioned. I mean, when you think about the prolific characters that this show has,
Yeah.
compared to every other show that
Well,
that
and
we've
like
already
then these
discussed.
people are still doing things. Like this show didn't
Yeah.
like just fizzle out, and like everyone's just like, oh, we'll
I
die
mean,
with the show.
Ben
like,
Schwartz is a big deal now, and he got his at least fame from this show being John Ralphio. I
which
mean,
is one of the greatest characters ever.
yeah, he's the worst. He's so fucking funny, and it's you have to watch. I mean, that dude improvises out the ass. You have to watch some of the bloopers where he's like trying to seduce Donna, and every time he delivers the lines different, and it makes her laugh at different points because he's so good at improvising. But yeah, every character in this, like Tom, god damn it, Swanson, thank you. One of my favorite characters in TV, period.
Oh,
Yeah, same.
Period.
April Ludgate, Andy,
April
Wyatt's
and
dorky
Andy's,
ass.
like life goal shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
The only
I'm looking
character,
for the April of my Andy.
yeah, for sure. The only character that I would consider weak is Anne. I always called her bland, but I'm
Bland.
pretty sure I stole that from April.
That's from also from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
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 It is. Her?
She's just like
Wait, Anne?
Her?
her.
Her?
Yeah.
Her? Really?
And even like Chris, Rob Lowe's character, it has his quirks that are kind of funny. and they get me sometimes. But like Anne had like hardly any of that, and there's nothing wrong with her character being just a support system for Leslie and like having like this whole, woman friendship that's not combative.
Right. They're heterosexual life mates, man.
Yeah,
they're like Jane
exactly.
Silent Bob.
There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's probably preferred to most of what we get on TV nowadays.
Yeah,
in the
right.
drama department.
Well, but like when it's
when she left, I wasn't sad.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. When that's like, oh man, we're about to bleed a character, and it's like, oh, okay, it's her. It's fine. like the show's gonna be all right. Yeah.
Oh, her? Oh, okay. Yeah, and Chris
her.
leaving too. If I had to pick somebody else to have leave the show, I'd be like, okay, Chris makes sense too. But if you had Ron leave the show, I'd be like, I don't know, I might be done with the show now.
Yeah. Right.
It's just her optimism is just infectious. Like the way that it impacts the entirety, all the characters, even Ron, who like doesn't want he wants to do the least amount of work possible. He's so much like April.
Right.
But he makes these characters she makes these characters give a shit and want to try for her sake, not just for, the government, but like for her. And good luck. Good luck not feeling good watching the show. Seriously. It's the only sad show, the only sad episode is Little Sebastian. That's it. And that's like fake sad. That's like funny sad.
It's like ridiculous sad.
It's ridiculous. I've only cried twice in my life when I saw the Grand Canyon when Little Sebastian died. Oh man, Ron Swanson's Pyramid of Manliness is like one of the best peak jokes. Like it's like a community level joke. It's so fucking good. Like if you can find a picture of it somewhere and just go through all the rules. Whoops, I hit the mic.
It's life. It's more than a joke. It's life.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny. I mean, some of those jokes, Ron Swanson Pyramid, I'm going to have to look it up because it's so fucking funny. And it's got his fucking ridiculous face on it. Oh, man, it's so good. Let's see. Suspicion. Do not trust anyone. Torso. Should be thick and impenetrable. Old wooden sailing ships. They're beautiful. Pig protein, cow protein, romantic love, deer protein, fish, sport only. Oh fuck, this is good. There's just that's just one of the best bits ever. It's such a thorough joke for like just a form that he goes over for like, it's like a thing that he goes over to teach basketball for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a throwaway thing, but they filled every square of that rectangle, whatever the fuck. And they filled every weird shape of that pyramid with a joke in there. And it's so fucking great. They knew these characters through and through. And also, Entertainment 720 ended up being like, what's that fucking one company? The fucking fire fraud.
Prestige Worldwide.
It was basically just fire fraud. Like, those guys rented a building out, did nothing with it, hired models to sit in rooms and have like a basketball player shoot hoops.
What did he call that?
Anything. Entertainment 720, right?
No, the Firefest guy. I was trying to think of the Firefest guy's company name. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, I don't remember.
Was that the Magnesis one that he did as like a benefit for the credit card or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. It was kind of like a diamond club or something.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
But it was like they called it Magnesis, even though it really didn't come with any fucking benefits at all. It was a fucking ripoff. Yeah. But it's just funny that they did this in Parks and Rec before any of that.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, I'm going to model my entire career off that. I'm just going to spend all these people's money and go broke. And yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, given the timing, if that actually was a source of inspiration for the guy. Because he seems like the kind of guy that'd be like,
could have been.
Take the wrong lesson from TV show.
Yeah.
That looks pretty dope. I could do that.
That's dope. I could do that. Dope.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, so that's my number 2. And in fact, I'm probably maybe on deck to rewatch that because it's been a while. And it's one of the best ones to rewatch, dude.
It is. It's a good rewatch.
I'm even okay because seeing Louis C.K. on the screen is it's weird nowadays. But this character is so fucking funny. The pushover cop who doesn't want a confrontation with anybody.
Yeah,
that's a funny ass character, dude. On paper, I like Leslie and her demeanor. I like. Frankly, I'm just not comfortable talking about this anymore. He's so procedural about everything. And then when he comes back to try to win her back against Ben, that's so funny because Ben doesn't like confrontation either. But Dave's like a cop, so he's kind of using his power, abusing his power, and Ben would get like sick when he thinks of trying to fight him or something. Because cops make him nervous, right? Oh my god,
right. Yeah, it's good.
That whole quirk. Every character's so thought out in this. It's such a great fucking show. Anyway, their version of 2017 ended up being disappointing as fuck, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Or was it 2020? It was 2017, right?
No, I don't think it was 20. I think it was further out. I think it was like 2020. Yeah, something like that. Maybe I don't know.
20. Yeah, it was 2017. It was like,
Oh wow. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, they had like drones do like a lot of the work in their 2017, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
wow,
we're not
we couldn't even
there
get
yet.
there. We couldn't even get fucking there. That's
No,
unbelievable.
we couldn't and didn't.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Maybe we will
I'm
now.
ready for Cones of Dunshire. I'm ready to learn that and play it with you guys on like Zoom or something. That fucking game, it makes no fucking sense. And there are rules. They said, I'm pretty sure Adam Scott said there are rules to the game they did invent, so it wasn't completely illogical. But they filmed everything so out of sequence or in such a fast, or edited it in such a fast rate that it made no fucking sense.
Of course.
That's so funny.
Cones of Dunshire. Oh my god. So
Are you
ridiculous.
calling my life's work nonsense?
So JD, what's your? Actually, you know what? Honorable mentions first.
On men's.
Hanmen's. You guys already mentioned How I Met Your Mother. That's one of mine. What else? Schitt's Creek was already mentioned at the top.
Schitt's
One of
Creek.
mine. Happy Endings. Bless This Mess is one from the same person that did New Girl. So
Wow.
it's actually really funny. Highly recommend that one. Friends is just a throwaway.
Yeah, Friends is on mine. Yeah.
Friends is on mine. Glow is on mine because that's my personal feel good. I love the wrestling shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
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 I love that show. It does deal with some heavier themes, but it's got a good heart. You know what I mean? It's got like a optimism to it. It's not all depressing shit. Anyway, what you guys got some more?
I got a low stakes watch called Trailer Park Boys.
Oh yeah.
Low stakes as fuck, dude. Big
Dude,
time.
turn your brain off, sit there, veg out. Every time you tune in, probably something stupid or funny is happening on screen. Maybe.
Yeah, dude,
you know?
Ricky's so great, dude. Like 80% of the words that come out of his mouth are just wrong. Idiots.
Are wrong
And they're so
or
funny.
said incorrectly, but
Yeah.
like it seems so effortless.
Nobody
like,
corrects him either.
Like he actually
hardly
talks
anybody.
like this, like,
Yeah.
but he doesn't. He's actually like a smart guy. Like I have no idea how he talks like it's like so effortlessly, unless
Yeah.
it's like written in the script or something. But like it's so hilarious to me. Yeah, that's a funny show. Man, I was just thinking about this when we were screaming at each other like Crystalia, but like that show Undateable is very funny.
Oh
recommend
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
and
Yeah,
three
that's-
seasons
I love
of that
one.
were very funny. A lot
man.
of great, huge comedians in that show.
Yes, yeah. Ron Funches.
Yep. Brent
Ja-
Morin,
Thank you, Brent Morin. I always called him Justin. I was like, is that a
Justin
character
Morin.
I would have been even better if Brian Callen ended up in here somehow, or Will Sasso, because like those guys going at each other, there's nothing better. Like,
Yeah, that's
it's
my
so
favorite.
fucking funny when the coronavirus stuff happened in LA, especially, and they started closing clubs or saying 10 people or more are no longer allowed in gatherings. Crystalia would tweet like, "Oh man, well, it's a good thing it doesn't impact Brian Callen's audience at all."
Yeah,
Like,
that's
The rivalry is so good.
yeah, their rivalry's so great.
never gets old. Never. I love the first Justin's girlfriend or ex, whatever, in season 1. I liked her a lot. And then she ended up in a show after this called Good News, or Great News. She was in Love as well. She played like the crazier one.
Oh yeah. In the first season of
yeah.
Love. Yeah.
Very attractive woman.
Very
but,
attractive woman.
But she was in this show called Great News, which was by a writer from 30 Rock, and Tina Fey even executive produced it. It had the same like kind of sense of humor. It had 2 seasons. Had the same kind of sense of humor as 30 Rock too. Like it was just very
wow.
fucking funny. Oh wow.
Wow.
Just want to throw that out there too as a possible feel good show. People might, whatever. Anyway, Undateable's great. I can't believe it got 3 seasons. Like when it got renewed for season 3, I was like, oh no way. And like
Yeah,
most of
same
it
here. I was
live.
like, wow, okay, they're really going for it.
Yeah, and then most of it was live, and that kind of blew my mind as well.
Yeah, and it made it funnier. Like it was fun.
It did. Yeah, they were all laughing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They could
Inappropriate
barely keep
times.
it together. It was great. Yeah. They were having a good time with it.
I'm trying to remember who else is in. Ed Sheeran's in this shit for some reason. Oh yeah, Zach Braff and Donald Faison were in this as well because they are. it's not by the guy Bill Lawrence or whatever. It's like produced by him or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
right.
I think, yeah. So anyway, there was a connection there. They like owed somebody more or less.
Yeah, right. Can y'all just walk on? And that's what they literally did. They just walked on.
Yeah, they just walked on, and Krista Miller showed up too. She was like twice though. She showed up as different characters. Rory Scoville's in it. I love that.
Yeah,
guy. That
I
guy's
love
so
Rory
fucking
Scovill.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, we both know who he is. Sarah Chalk was in it as herself for a little bit. Lots of Scrubs people, man. I think. Yeah, I guess they were just. Huh. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember what the connection was.
Did Bill Lawrence do like anything with this? I'm trying to figure out. Like,
I don't remember.
I guess it was his production company or something. Whatever. Fuck it. It was good.
Yeah, maybe they were all just really big Scrubs fans. You know, like the whole cast. Like, we love Scrubs.
It's possible. I felt the dynamic for sure.
Crystalia just being Crystalia is funny to me though, and he's very Crystalia in this show. He's very cocksure and confident, and just very like just always dumping on Brent Moore, and it's very hilarious. I really enjoyed the show.
Yeah, he was definitely my introduction to him was in Whitney, which I actually liked the show.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I watched Whitney, and that's when I first learned about Crystalia as well. And I'm like, this guy's funny. I go, who is this? Yeah, and I started watching his comedy because of that show. So,
and that shows the reason I know who Rhea Seehorn is, who got a huge role in Better Call Saul. Now she's like, the one everybody talks about from Saul.
Wait, so where did she come from?
She came from Whitney, the Whitney College.
Okay, gotcha.
With Crystalia. And Crystalia was in that too. And now she's Kim Wexler in fucking Better Call Saul. It's crazy.
Who was she in that show? Was she just Whitney's friend?
Yeah, she was like the best friend.
That's right. Oh my God, that's so crazy. I've always wondered where I remember her Kim from. I'm like, I know her from something, and it's 100% Whitney.
It's fucking wild, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so wild. Yeah, it's super wild.
To come from that show, like that was like the first thing everybody saw you in, and then I guess she was in some TNT bullshit too, but Whitney was what I saw. I mean, NBC's, that's a main network, of course. I'm gonna remember from that. Yeah, that's a good choice, man. I fucking forgot about that show. That show is so fun.
It's so fun.
I put Superstore in mine. That was actually my number 11. Almost made my list because that is breezy as fuck, and there's nothing in it that makes you go, I'm gonna cry. It's it's on par with like the. There's a show we already mentioned that it's like there's not a single cynical bone in its body where you don't feel good about watching it. I can't remember. Maybe Parks and Rec. There's like none of those heavy moments in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that. But yeah, Superstore has none of that. It's very funny. There's the best parts of the show are like between conversations between characters, they'll like cut to a random customer in the store doing something fucking stupid like shitting in an on-display toilet or something. Something stupid. They'll just be doing the dumbest bullshit you've ever seen a customer do. I love that type of shit. Like the jokes in between the dialogue. It's a great cast too. I recognize one of them as a stand-up comic. I can't remember his name, though. Colton Dunn, I think. He plays a wheelchair, whatever, guy. Wheelchair guy.
Oh, wheelchair guy. Wow, do tell.
He was on Key and Peele. That's what he was on before. I don't know what he did there. He was in that shitty movie Laser Team. Yeah, it's a funny show. I like that one. Mark McKinney's in it from Kids in the Hall. He's a very funny character in it. Man Seeking Woman's another one.
Man Seeking Woman's a great one. Yeah.
Wow. So relatable, and again, very little pessimism in this show. You'll feel very good watching this show, even though it's like a lot of it kind of deals with heartbreak and stuff, but everything's so over the top in it.
It's so nutty,
Yeah, exactly. It's like a fairy tale type thing. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's another one. I mean, there's literally nothing happy about any of the episodes in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It should have been in my top 10.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is so jolly. It's such a fun show.
It's just fucking funny as shit. Schitt's Creek Glow. Yeah, I mentioned all of mine. Do you guys have any more?
No, yeah, you covered a lot of mine also.
I barely have a list, so fuck no.
Are you sure you didn't include Chernobyl?
It's the best, most cheery show ever. Yeah, the only thing higher than your radiation levels are your fun levels. Am I right?
Let me tell you though, I felt really good about seeing Jessie Buckley on screen.
So, that was good.
I like her.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's radiant. She's radiant.
Yep, there you go.
Especially after that hug.
You guys get it?
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, all right.
It's crazy.
So JD, what is your number 10?
I don't think you guys.
Number 1, not 10. 10 minus 9.
Okay,
number 1?
So we're not starting over. Good. You guys are not ready for this. So let me explain some mental gymnastics I took to get here.
Wow.
The show itself is cynical as shit. It points out everything that's wrong with everybody, but it makes you feel good about it because the world sucks. And we need to view it from this lens sometimes. So I put fucking South Park at number 1.
Wow.
Even though it's dealing with some of the most fucked up shit,
boy.
does it not make you fucking feel better about the fucked up shit that it's making fun of? Like,
to some degree,
usually,
for most of the time.
usually, yeah.
because I don't know, I feel like it has that like.
Like, oh, good. Someone else realizes this is kind of like stupid and
Exactly.
Like,
it's something that puts things into perspective. It's going to make you see it from a different lens, or it's going to articulate the words or thoughts that you've had in your head that maybe didn't quite put it all together, like on the angle with which to tell the story. And I feel like it's one of those shows that we as a society like generally need and kind of lean on.
Don't you know?
Don't you know this is a society?
This is a society.
I don't know, man. I mean, I know this isn't a list of most important television shows ever, and I probably wouldn't even put this at the top of that list. But I feel like it's just one of those shows that, like, when heavy shit is going on in the real world, you know that South Park's going to be able to make you laugh about it, or they're going to make you.
Their next season's going to be fucking awesome. That's all.
Yeah, it's going to have so much, and that's the thing. We are not short on options for them to just completely eviscerate and tackle in a way that is both fucked up and somehow endearing at the same time. And I know a lot of people are not going to agree with this being that type of show, a feel good show, and you're right, like it's really not on the surface. It's more just it's the experience around it and what it chooses to tackle and when, and the fact that it is an equal opportunity offender. It does make me feel good that people can still say what they want to say through the right lens, because we live in a world where even before all this shit, like, there's just some things you can't say anymore. There's some things you're not supposed to say anymore. And I feel like it's one of those like last vestiges of kind of the old world where you could say whatever you wanted as long as it was through the veil of comedy and it was funny. People didn't give a shit, and or at least they didn't have a platform to vocalize whether they gave a shit or not like they do now. But yeah, man, this show does make me feel good, especially when it's tackling something that's happening right then or just happened. It's great. So it's I know it's kind of a cheap out, but it's more just the experience rather than the content itself for me, as far as how it makes me feel. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it and stuff.
Well, it's fucking wrong, but Kyle, what's your... kidding.
You don't feel good, sir. I disagree.
I'm kidding. So, Kyle, what's your number 1?
My number 1 we pushed earlier. It's the IT crowd.
It crowd. Cool.
This is
man.
the It's crowd, man.
I don't know why, but I always forget that you love this show just as much, if not more than I do. Which obviously
I love this show. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how good this show is. And like this is another one where it's like there is not one fucking moment it's trying to make a point about anything.
No, not at all.
It is just chaotic humor. Like
other than just ineptitude sometimes. Which
everyone is at the show.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's always sunny, but instead of like everyone being sociopaths, they're just
they're not
kind of
horrible people.
Yeah, they're not horrible people. They're just kind of like stupid, or just like not willing to put in any of the work or something. It's just very. It's very funny, and I love every time like both CEOs. I like the first guy, and then his son. And then his son comes in, and like the later, it's just the guy from Community, the grifter.
Yeah.
Talking about the dude from
What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show.
Shadows.
Yeah, which would have been a great addition to this list, because there's no stakes in that show. What We Do in the Shadows is a high player on this list. Someone should have said that one. That's
God, yeah. That didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I really like the IT crowd. It's just super funny, and it's you're never. Again, like you don't have to be in a certain mood to watch it, and like every episode is like just hilarious.
I'm disabled.
Someone stole my wheelchair.
my favorite fucking moment in the entire series is when they play hooky from work and there's the bomb that's blocking their way to get back, so they can't get back to work. And the bomb robot stops working, and everybody's like, "Oh no, that's not good." He's like, "No." Moss is like, "No, it's gonna be fine. We're going to be fine." "What operating system are you running?" "Windows Vista." "We're going to die."
Yeah.
It's just such a nerdy IT joke that absolutely he would make. Goddamn.
There's a lot of good stuff in that. And they find like the guy who's been working in the back room and he's like a vampire or something.
Yeah, it's old Greg.
Yeah.
It's fucking old Greg.
I love how they answer the phone is a IT help desk person's dream.
IT, have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, no, I mean, I fucking wish we could all answer the phone like that. Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
It's so not fair.
"This is JD. Is your caps lock on?" Like, that would just solve
Man, it would solve
90% of my fucking workload.
Yeah.
If I could just start every call like that.
Same. Yeah, I just need to watch the show again. I watched it once when I was working at like 3 jobs ago, so it's been a long time.
Oh yeah.
I remember when the special came out in 2013, and I watched it like the day it came out.
Yeah.
So that's been that long.
It's
been
an
like
easy
7
watch,
years.
man, because it's in series, because it's
another
British
breezy
as
one,
fuck. Yeah, dude, I love that. I love that show so much. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's great. It's good stuff.
Yeah, my number one probably shouldn't be my number one considering how I feel about Parks and Rec now. But my number one, whatever, it's fucking fine. My number one should be Parks and Rec, but that's fine. So the same showrunner did my number one. It's The Good Place.
Hold on, did you skip Kyle? Oh wait, no, never mind. God damn it, what am I talking about? I'm dumb.
Yeah,
I'm so dumb.
no. I just talked a little much.
Dumb.
Yeah, my number one's A Good Place. It was like the first show I thought of, and it just never left number one.
All right.
It was just.
I saw that pop up on a lot of lists. So
it is the most It's got good in the fucking name. It's the most feel good show. I like legitimately thought of. Parks and Rec I love more though, so I mean it's really tough. But Good Place has like especially if we're talking about shows that you want to go and binge. This is basically like a movie. Like it's 4 seasons you have to watch straight through. Obviously not one sitting. But it's best to just binge the show because every episode ends into a cliffhanger that leads into another thing. So it's actually really difficult to watch week to week considering that. So now I'm really eager to go back and rewatch it all together. But the premise of the show, for those that might not know, is Kristen Bell stars in it, and she dies. This is like a fantasy, kind of like Pushing Daisies is a fantasy, where it's kind of like deals with death, but it's a lot of humor and it's light. It's very light and breezy. But she, it's clever as well, super clever in the way Pushing Daisies is. But her character dies and goes to heaven, and she realizes that she's there on accident because she's like thinking back and she's like, oh man, I was a shithead when I was alive. Why am I here? And she realizes she's not alone. Like other people are there too that don't belong there. Like there was some sort of clerical mix-up. And now they're all in heaven by accident, but they have to play it cool, like they mean to be there. So that's how it starts. Things unravel pretty fucking fast after the first season finale. So that's where the oh shit moment happens in the season finale of season 1, and things just go fucking wild there. And when they start dealing with the concept of hell and their concept of hell and heaven and the jokes that they include in there about torturing people in hell, oh my god, dude! Some of the jokes are so fucking funny. Like, there's one in the last season where they're trying to come up with the ideal way to torture people in hell, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like not a clean way to do it, but like a way that's like ethical, I guess, for some reason. And so they're like, first they like they have a person in there that they're testing this torture stuff with. And they like spawn a bear, like a bear there, like a fucking live bear to like eat them alive. And they're like, wait, hold on, we can't use a live bear, man. This is too much. And they're like, okay, fine. And then like the next one, they're like, okay, it's a bear with a fucking chainsaw. And they're like, this is too much, man. You can't add a chainsaw. What the fuck? And they're like, fine, we'll do it your way. And the next one is like a tiny bear with a shirt that says, I'm hug me or something. And it still has chainsaw for hands. It has like chainsaws, and he goes, Mondays, am I right? And it's like, they're like, what? Hold on. And they're like, wait, no. People don't like Mondays, right? So that's totally fine. so fucking ridiculous. It's there's some dumb shit that goes on in the show like that, but yeah, the cleverness is in like some of the lines and jokes that they have. I remember Kristen Bell's character in the last season made a joke about Stone Cold Steve Austin winning the WWF title, I think, in WrestleMania against Shawn Michaels. She was very specific, like WrestleMania, blah blah blah, when Stone Cold beat up, and I was like, oh my god, they have wrestling fans on the writing team. Like, it was so great. Their jokes are so thorough like that. I really have to watch it again to get more specific on it, because it does benefit from a binge watch completely, because it feels like a movie, and they ended it on 4 seasons for that reason. Like, we didn't want to, they didn't want to overextend anything longer than it needed to be. I think Janet is one of the best characters on TV. She's like an artificial being that's like a Siri to The Good Place, where like you say Janet and she just appears and she's like, what can I help you with? But she ends up having more depth to her. She gets more conscious as the show goes along, but she still maintains her, like her Siri-like AI abilities. It's just a really fucking funny show, and there's not a single cynical bone in this show's body, if it had one. So I think you'll come away from the show feeling fucking great. It's more like The Great Place, am I right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a Michael Schur show. I'm pretty sure we mentioned 3 of Michael Schur's shows so far. He did The Office as well. He stepped in as the showrunner for that. And Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Good Place. So, I mean, this dude is all over the feel-good spectrum.
Yeah.
So, look up Michael Schur's IMDb and you'll find
he's making that feel-good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's it for this episode, man. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. You can find us at EoC Pod on Twitter. And if you don't want to find us there, find us on Facebook at Entertainment Chambers Podcast. If you don't want to find us there, go fuck yourself. I mean, that's those places.
But
that's kind of where we're at on that
go
one.
wash your hands before you go fuck yourself, but still go fuck yourself.
I don't know.
hygienic.
I say wash your hands after.
I mean,
I'm just saying be
I say
hygienic
both.
about fucking yourself.
I say both. I think you need to clean in and clean out.
I would use lotion aside, not even for the self-fucking. I would use it after washing, like immediately after washing your hands, because I'm getting some fucking shit on my hands.
Yeah, that eczema, this eczema thing is a very odd phenomenon to me.
Yeah,
how just like all of a sudden, after like 3 weeks of this, so many people in both of our feeds are just like, are y'all's hands getting fucked up?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, yes, they are. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, now we went from washing our hands after a shit or before we eat to like washing it passively, like, oh, it's been like an hour.
Right. I mean, I've always done it. I've always done it like right when I get home and right before bed. And I've always done it at like eating, of course. But this has gotten like obsessive, man.
I think it helps my trip to Nashville that I made right when everything was starting to hit the fan.
Yeah.
In March, mid-March. I roomed with a guy who was like a nurse. He's like a contract nurse.
Oh, wow.
So like he'll do a contract for 3 months in like a different city every now and then. So he had all the shit. He had like all the wipes, all the hand sanitizer.
Nice.
He was so thorough about washing his hands and everything. He was telling me some details about being a nurse and stuff, like kind of like the scrubs shit. You know what I mean? Like, he was giving me the DL on the medical shit. He was giving me the research that Scrubs did on their show. No, but for real. So it was cool to kind of be around somebody who was like conscious about that stuff. Because if I went by myself, I probably would have just been licking door handles. I don't know.
Of course. I mean, that's what you do, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I definitely didn't have any wipes before I went up there. He had the wipes. He had the hand sanitizer. I would have just been washing my hands. So I think we I don't know. I think we were kind of smart about it. And then the 2 weeks passed. That was the most paranoid I'd ever been in my life. Like, coming back from a place that I never am. They have an outbreak there. It's not a big one, but they have one. And then coming back and, like, waiting for 2 weeks to pass to make sure I don't get sick.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, you guys haven't been alerted about being... Well, I guess, Kyle, you have the closest proximity to somebody that's positive, right?
Yeah.
I guess you got to count down the days too, then.
Yeah, but thankfully, we're in different buildings, but they're on my workforce. Yeah. So thankfully,
how far away the building? Is it like same lot, different building?
No, different sides of town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah, so which should be all right, but like, boy, yeah, I remember when all this stuff started going down, I was in the throes of like a bad cold.
Yeah.
It was all the opposite, like, symptoms, so I know it wasn't it, but like, you can't tell that to everybody at work,
Yeah,
Right.
they hear a cough, they just go, "Oh,
Hey man, what's going
we're all
on with
dead."
you? I'm like, I'm sick because it's fucking cold season.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's what I keep, because I've got like not like a recurring cough, but I mean, I smoke some weed, so I think everybody that smokes a little bit has a little bit of a productive cough every now and then. And so I've had to tell a lot of people, like, guys, I just smoke a little bit of weed. Like, that's all this is. like just stop it. Because I mean, they give you the fucking look of death. Like, it is like that Negan.
Oh, yeah,
meme,
you get the
did
leper
you
look.
just threaten me? Like, fuck you, man. Even though you're right, you're right to be paranoid about stuff like that. Like, you should be. But I guess it's just the overt way that people react. Like, it's not subtle. It's not in their head anymore. Like, their entire body language is like, fuck you, dude. Don't try to kill me.
yeah.
I went to Kroger today to pick up groceries, and they were like half the people I saw walk in and out had masks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why isn't everybody doing this yet? I thought the CDC just, I guess people
It's a-
take
it's
some
a
time
recommendation.
to adjust.
It's a recommendation.
I know, but the fact that they said not to do it, and the fact that they flip flop like that, I guess
Yeah.
people are still adjusting to it. Like the
I
person
think
that came
it's-
out and delivered my groceries had gloves, but she wasn't wearing a mask, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
cool, I guess I'm wearing my mask right now. Hey, cool.
Yeah, I had 2 delivery drivers drop off food today, and neither of them had masks.
It's
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like probably you'll start to see maybe 3 out of every 4 people wearing them, but there's still going to be somebody that doesn't.
Well, it sounds like only 20 people got all the masks in the world, so
Yeah,
Apparently.
it's true.
good luck getting. I like how they enact this rule and just in time for there to be no masks in any stores.
Right.
So-
Fortunately, Amazon's on mine. I know it's got like a month out delivery date, but it says it just
Yeah,
shipped
you
from
can-
California, so
And you
it's
can just
gonna
like
come.
take an old shirt and make a shitty mask.
Right.
Make a
Yeah,
shitty
you can.
cloth
It
mask.
said even a bandana will be.
Oh, that's funny. Old shirts. What are those like? Don't have them anymore, bro. That's the thing. Is so many people are just like, these things are things you should have laying around the house. I'm like, not if a fucking tornado hit your house 6 months ago, fuck face. Don't got shit. But anyway, that's not their fault.
Extra
Question.
fabric.
Hey, quick
What's that
question.
like, you bunch of rich
Hey,
bastards?
can I ask you a quick question? Quick question.
Yeah.
Quick question. Hey, so what if? Just say what if? What if you had a tornado go through your goddamn apartment,
They're like, sir, gonna need you to calm down. It's like, don't
Sir.
sir me.
sir,
you're
ma'am,
sir.
ma'am? Then okay, that's better.
Okay, fine.
At
At least you're supposed to say it. At least you're supposed to say it to that one. Yeah, I'm all right. Anyway,
Anyway,
cut that out.
I don't know. I don't get it anymore. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I can't believe we kept talking.
Yeah, we did.
So stay safe out there and sane, most importantly. Keep your routine intact if you can, because waking up and not showering and just putting on PJs all day, hey, that's fine for like a day.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
you're going to fall into a serious self-destructive rut if you do it all the fucking time now.
Yeah. Like I do that on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I go back to work on Monday, and
Like I would still, after a 2-day, we'll just say after a 2-day no shower type binge, yeah, day 3, you got to do it. Whether you're doing
Yeah,
anything,
no, you gotta break it after
like
that. You get
you've
2.
got to
Yeah.
break it. Like seriously, you're gonna get weird bacteria on your dick or your other places, depending on.
Dick,
Yeah.
most importantly.
But I mean, for me
And
personally,
and you know what? And it's the kind of bacteria. It's just gonna fall off. Like your whole dick, it'll fall off.
the
so
whole dick is just
You gotta-
That
gone.
is a symptom of.
yeah. I'm telling kids, wash your dick. That's all I'm saying.
Just wash your
Yeah.
dick, and you're like, hey, go to Manscaped.
Let me,
No, just,
and if you don't, let me smell your dick. Let me smell your dick.
yeah.
That's a song. I swear to God. That's
I'm like, what?
you guys have never heard the "Smell Your Dick" song?
No, I've never done it. I'm
It's-
gonna
it's,
listen to it right away, though.
The whole premise is like the woman is trying to find out if her man is cheating, and he's like, "No, I didn't. I would never cheat on you." And she's like, "Cool, then let me smell your dick."
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I gotta send it to you. I listened to it a long time ago. Yeah, I think of the 3 of us, I'm the one that works from home, and I'm the one that would fall into that type of rut. But I've already developed, before we even said, "Hey, let's work from home," I already developed the habit of like changing clothes and
That's good.
Right.
showering when I need to,
Yeah,
which is like once every month. So
it's
a month I just shower.
being somebody that's used to isolating themselves occasionally, socially, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, we're doing fine right now.
Yeah, we're doing
comparatively. It's the extroverts that are just man, they got to be outside. They got to have fresh air and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, have you ever seen fresh air by itself? Not for me.
Not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah, I prefer a dick going into a fresh air.
Yeah.
Huh?
Chicago looks like her fresh air could totally take a dick. I'm just really tired of you talking bad about Chicago. Dude, that's not bad. That's a compliment. I don't know why I singled out Chicago. I'm sorry.
I don't
get
they're going
it.
through some shit right now, like everybody else is.
The
I guess, so.
Windy City, I think that's just where I went. So it's fine.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Now.
Yeah.
They have more air than not more air.
They have more air flow. They have more air flow. Yeah.
Ant flow. Chicago.
That's a period joke. You get it?
Is it? Question mark?
Is it?
All right. God, we went on for long enough. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, to Enter Scarpenings of Cancellations.
Yeah.
We'll be back next time, probably with movies that feel good to watch, which are easier to plow through, I would say, for a lot of people. But shows are good, too. Let's start there. A lot of the shows that we mentioned are on Hulu or Netflix. I mean, that's
Most
why
of
they
them
popped
are.
into our brains.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you'll be able to find them somewhere, honestly. So, yeah, go check those out. They're really worth the time. They're very funny. None of them, it's not... I mentioned Chernobyl jokingly. There's nothing fucking like that in any of these shows we've mentioned. So very confident about our lists.
Yeah. They're super
We'll
cool.
see you guys next time on the Man J. Your mother.